Hey there. I'm here for a stream and a panel. Panel and a stream. Stream and a panel. Welcome to April 2nd, the second day of April. I had a lot of fun last night. I think that was a cool little event. So we'll see what happens today. I'm going to look at the news. I know today is Liberation Day. He did something. He made his big tariff announcement. Or did he? I haven't checked. I'm about to do that. Let's see. What went on with the tariffs? Liberation Day announcement could upend global trade. That doesn't sound too very sensationalistic. Oh, the White House put out something. Storms to hit Midwest and South with tornadoes, catastrophic flooding. It's entitled, this is from the White House, the official executive order. Regulating imports with a reciprocal tariff to rectify trade practices that contribute to large and persistent annual United States goods trade deficits. That's the title of the order. All right, what is he doing? Lord, I'm going to need AI to summarize this for me. And let's see what else happened. Wall Street stock futures tumble. Let's see. What? This is, I don't know what any of this is. European Union, China, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, Cambodia, South Africa, and Taiwan. No additional tariffs on Canada and Mexico. 25% tariffs on auto imports. And the tariffs are going to affect at midnight tonight. All right, well, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know enough to comment. Ow, my ear itches. All right, let me see if I think I might have a tweet or two. Yeah, here's one about DEI. DEI, whether it be for Israel, feminism, anti-racism, does not work. You cannot improve people's attitudes by making them feel bad about who they are. The only way forward is positive intergroup contact, which we had plenty of in my generation. I don't know what happened. Facilitate tough but honest dialogue. Yes, yes, yes. And this one, slavery was a virtual constant throughout history on every continent. It doesn't define America. Emancipation defines America. We freed ourselves from an ancient barbaric practice. That is our achievement as a nation. So take that, all you wokies. Hey, Helena. The channel memo. Um, I didn't even get the memo. Was it my memo? I didn't get my own memo. What are you reading? I don't know about the channel memo. But welcome, Kane. Good to see you. I'm just doing a panel today. Just hanging out, kind of unwinding after work. It's hard for me to do topics on work days or do anything of like in depth or substantive because I come home and I have just enough time to eat, get ready for a stream, hang out for a few hours, and then bedtime. But it is open panel. The link is pinned. Come on up if you want. In the meantime, I'll be doing my thing on here. Nobody else is really streaming, and I don't. AC's butt plugs and cheese graters. That seems like a sock. Later, grater. Is it AC? Panelverse AC? I don't have anything to say, really. I'm tired. I worked. The work is it's on your feet all day. So even if you're not really doing anything with a lot of exertion, just standing on your feet for that amount of time, you come home and you just feel tired. Like your body feels ready to just sit and not do anything. So here I am. All right, let's see what we can get into. I did see where Donald Trump talked today. I wonder if he gave the tariff announcement. Maybe we could look at that. Official White House YouTube channel. Happy Liberation Day, America. Here, it's a little 3-minute clip. Let's watch this. And it has a money bag emoji in the title. Let's see what this is about. This might be a troll in and of itself.
President Trump pushing ahead with his America First agenda.
Breaking
Who's
news.
talking? Hang on. Stop it. Who's doing the talking? Oh my God, it sounds like a cartoon character. Who is this ridiculous, awful voice that's the voiceover narrator?
America First agenda.
Breaking.
President Trump pushing ahead with his America First agenda.
Breaking news, Apple announced it's going to work with Foxconn to build a server factory in Texas by 2026.
The company says it is now planning to invest $500 billion in the U.S. economy.
The CEO of SoftBank pledging to invest $100 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years.
This is President Trump delivering on the promise he made to the American people on the campaign trail.
The idea is come to America, build greatness in America, build for the American customers.
Project Stargate. It's a joint venture between SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI.
I don't even know what this is.
It's just will eventually be expanded to other states.
Shows people are
from the official White House channel
to bring new industry to America.
This is the latest pledge from a foreign business leader promising to spend big in the U.S. as a result of Trump's election victory.
Founder of the property development company DeMac Properties is pledging the money.
President Trump announcing $100 billion investment
I don't
from
even know what I'm looking
Semiconductor,
at.
bringing the company's total American investments to $165 billion.
The most powerful AI chips in the world will be made right here in America.
Things happen so quickly in the Trump world, right? It's 100 days. Right. It feels like it's 100 months. This is leadership. This is taking control of the problem for military, for everything, for industrial, for our economy. Even if it causes short-term pain, the reality is it is the right decision.
NVIDIA says
Wait,
it will
hang
invest
on,
hundreds of billions of dollars
in pain. The reality
what is
it is
this
the
horse?
right decision.
What is this horse right here with a golden ass? Am I looking at this right? Like the hind end of the horse is gold, or is it a separate object and the horse is its own thing? I want to know more
NVIDIA
about this
says
horse.
it will
There's
invest
another
hundreds
horse
of
on the
billions
other
of
side.
dollars over the
No
next
gold.
4 years, part of the manufacturing renaissance under President Donald J. Trump.
Furniture maker Prepack are shifting their operations from Canada
Who can
to North
follow?
Carolina.
What are they trying to
Johnson
say?
says
This
it
is
will
horrible
invest more than
communication,
$55
guys.
billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years.
This does not give me confidence.
$20 billion investment.
With your leadership, Mr.
What are you?
President,
What is your
Hyundai Motor Group
message
is
here?
proud to be stronger partner in America's industrial future.
This is the automobile industry, and now those plants largely have stopped, and they're moving them
to our country. Honda is building one of the biggest plants.
The trade story is certainly picking up speed here and pushing more countries to make these bigger investments.
It's another example of the Trump effect.
GE Aerospace announcing a nearly $1 billion investment into American manufacturing.
Eli Lilly announcing plans to expand its manufacturing here in the United States.
$27 billion additional spend, bringing our total to more than $50 billion.
The money's rolling in.
Why
and
are
this
all
is
of
in the
these people
past
so
60
bored?
some odd days, Charles.
These are deep-pocketed folks who want to have a relationship, and it's just smart moves.
We are CMA CGM, one of the leaders in shipping and logistics around the world. Today, we are investing $20 billion.
Foreign leaders from around the world, investors from Silicon Valley to Wall Street to Main Street have confidence again in our economy and our markets and in President Trump.
The Trump effect this morning, a string of massive wins for American manufacturing. The numbers speak for themselves. Wisconsin-based Clarios is putting up $6 billion to expand its American operation. And what's driving these decisions? Well, President Trump's aggressive Made in America policies and his commitment to bringing industry back to American soil. This is exactly what Trump promised.
If this is propaganda, it
is
sucks.
back.
If it's meant to be a message to the American people, it sucks. It's just a bad video clip. I feel like I feel guilt and shame for even having you watch it. I didn't know. Hey Zephyr, Waffle, hello. Bart, good to see you. I know the music. That's another. It's too many elements that clash, and they didn't communicate anything cohesive. I always have to be like suspicious or skeptical or prepared when I'm playing a Trump clip, but I had no idea that and that's Happy Liberation Day. That's supposed to be celebratory of today because he did something with the tariffs that's going to liberate us. President Trump participates in the Make America Wealthy Again event. What is that? Well, it's just him speaking. Maybe this will be a little better. If they ever start. All right, here we go. Let's try this one. It's a little more straightforward, I think. Oh, those are all the flags of the states. One of them, I thought I saw a gay flag. Which state is that? Because California is the bear. Watch. I'll show it again. This one. Which state is this? Right here. I guess that's not a gay flag. What's in his hand? Looks like a gasoline can. What's in your hand, Donald? Show us. Crowd. What is in your hand? Is that a hat? A MAGA hat? What's... He's so theatrical here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Look at the guy on the
Nice
roof.
crowd. What a good-looking group of people. Well, we have some very, very good news today, and a lot
So
of good
now,
things
if
are
he
happening
doesn't
for our
say
country.
anything,
Please
it
sit
just
down.
means they're not very attractive.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time.
The crowd is
April
so
2nd,
big.
2025
I mean,
will
like
forever be
number.
remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy.
Mawa, yeah,
For
Mawa.
decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike.
I love when his hair blows.
American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen. We have a lot of them here with us today.
Is that a toupee?
They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago. And really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago, and you are now, but you don't too often, and for many years and decades even, you didn't hear too much about. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen.
I want specifics.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal. That means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that.
Tit for tat.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense.
Which one?
But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt, and it'll all happen very quickly. With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before.
He doesn't have the same energy he usually has. In fact, I'm falling asleep.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already.
Where?
We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. And ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America. It's coming back. We're going to come back very strongly. We're pleased to be joined on this momentous occasion by Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D., thank you. Thank you.
He wanted to be taken seriously.
Thank you very much. Where are you, J.D.?
J.D.
Oh, that wasn't too hard to find. I was looking, you know, he likes to take a low-key attitude, so it'd usually be sitting right in front. He's gaining a lot of confidence, Mike, isn't it? And nearly my entire cabinet is here, as well as Speaker Mike Johnson, who's done an amazing job. And with the great success we had last night in Florida, we have a majority of 7.
About Wisconsin,
and 7's like a lot when we had it at 1, right? You've done a fantastic job, and many of the members of the House and Senate are with us. Senators, Congressmen, thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it. For decades, the United States slashed our trade barriers on other countries, while those nations placed massive tariffs on our products and created outrageous non-monetary barriers to decimate our industries. And in many cases, the non-monetary barriers were worse than the monetary ones.
What were the non-monetary
They manipulated their currencies, subsidized their exports,
that sounds like
stole our intellectual property, imposed exorbitant VAT taxes
intellectual
to
this sounds like some
products,
scandalous shit.
adopted unfair rules and technical standards, and created filthy pollution havens. They were absolutely filthy, but they always came to us and they said, we're violating, we should pay for it. It's all detailed in a very big report by the U.S. Trade Representative on Foreign Trade Barriers. And I'll just hold it up for you. It's available, and you don't have to pay too much. As I understand it, you'll pay nothing. It's a lot of work for something, actually, because it's a special book. It's frankly, it's very upsetting when you read it, when you see what people have been doing to us for 30 years. This all happened with no response from the United States of America.
I see you behind the curtain.
But those
Bald-headed
days
guy.
are over. Let me offer just a few examples
like
of the
that.
vicious attacks our workers have faced
You're
for
not
so
even
many
listening
years.
to Trump. You played on
The
your
United
phone.
States charges other countries
That's why we
only
see your
a
big glare.
2.4 tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher prices, like 60%. India charges 70%.
All right. Oh, I can't. Hey, Mike. Oh, if I'm gonna make it through the stream, I gotta conserve my energy. I can't have it siphoned off by this video. Yeah, you notice that he's just low energy today. He's rote. He's like just mechanical. It's Liberation Day, and this is the most exciting day in American history ever. And the energy is not matching the message. It was good. It was not what I expected at all. Hardly any trolls or trolling. We just had a good time talking, chatting amongst ourselves. You were missed. You were asked about. Barney's tiny hat. Is he streaming? Let me check. I don't see him on. You talking about his little men on film? He wore that when we did our movie review stream of Baby Reindeer. It's from In Living Color. Welcome to Men on Film. And they would say, hated it. And they would give it snaps, 2 snaps up. Or sometimes they'd give it 2 snaps and a twist. Or 2 snaps in Z formation. And Blaine Edwards and Antoine Merriweather. It was Damon Wayans and David Allen Greer. Yeah, that one. Yeah, he's a ham. That one. We tried to get a Twitch channel off the ground. He and I, because he said that's where all the gay people were, and so he asked me to go over to Twitch to see if we could pull in some gays, and we didn't. Nobody showed up. Gays don't I don't know how you capture the gay audience. I'm not successful at it at all. We have a couple of gays that find their way here. But it's not this is not the channel that they're into. Maybe if we had more drag or something. Pop divas. I don't know what would draw the gays. Do we even want the gay? I don't even know if I want the gays. It was. I remember I remember the very first episode. I would tape them on VHS and I would watch them over and over and over throughout the week. They had Jim Carrey. And who's the fly girl? She's famous now. Somebody got their start as a fly girl. And then that judge on what's that dancing show? The ballroom dancing was also a fly girl. Famous fly girls. Was it J-Lo? Yeah, J-Lo was a fly girl. And Carrie Ann Inaba from Dancing with the Stars. In Living Color. Hey, Untrackable. And Benita Betrayal. Oh my God. I ain't one to gossip. You to hear from me. She would sit out her window and look at just like the panel verse. She was pure panel verse. You didn't hear it from me. I ain't one to gossip. And then you don't talk about Miss Jenkins. You better not never say nothing bad about Miss Jenkins. That woman is a saint. That woman raised me. That's the best woman I ever met in my life. Nobody better say nothing bad about her. But you better not turn your back on her. Finger stickier than a booger in a jar of honey. And they had my other favorite was LaShawn. She was that sassy black girl with the braids, and she worked at the hamburger restaurant and the museum and the makeup counter. And she would insult all the customers. She's the one that would say, excuse me? And she would like say really mean things to them, and when they'd start to throw a fit, she would hand them a tissue. And she'd say, "Oh, tissue anyone?" You think RuPaul did? What kind of like? Okay, but I'm gonna challenge this one. What are all these straight men doing, looking into alternative lifestyles in the first place? That's not even that's normal. The fact that they're even finding their way to RuPaul, there's a reason behind that. Because it's not like they're like randomly flipping channels, watching the football game, watching NASCAR, watching wrestling, and then all of a sudden they see a RuPaul commercial and like, oh, I wonder what that's about. That's not what's happening. They're seeking out something, and somehow RuPaul is part of that they're finding when they're on this search. I am black. People don't believe me. I was raised black. Hey, fools and tools. Untrackable. You really don't remember anything? You only had 2 vodkas? Um, Last night was the first night where I could kind of tell that you might be inebriated. Because you were just getting you were more passionate than you normally are. I watch Drag Race. I watch it with friends, and it's more of a tradition than anything that I watch on my own. I just watch it because we've been doing it for years and years and years. And I see it more as entertainment. It's like a reality show competition, and I enjoy those. But the thing I'm noticing now, the trend on RuPaul is the first seasons, it was a bunch of gay boys in drag. And the later seasons, it's a bunch of gay and trans boys in drag. And some of them are trans and some of them are gay now, but you can't tell any of them apart. The little trans drag queens look and act exactly like the gay boy drag queens. So I don't know what the trans thing is like. What's the distinguishing feature about being trans is? Because they all look the same. They're effeminate men dressing up in women's clothes and putting on performances. And whether they call themselves gay or trans, I can't tell the difference between the two. And they have some contestants now on some of the episodes that were they're called bio queens. It's women doing drag. Female, like actual biological women are competing also with the gay men as drag queens. Well, it's like really, they had one straight guy in the entire. They're like on season 17 or something of RuPaul. Plus, they've had all kind of global versions. There's been one straight guy that was a drag queen.
Hey, how's
What's
it going?
up?
Doing good. I hope you are.
Oh yeah, I am. How are you doing?
Oh no, I felt fine this morning, but I was thinking like I remember talking to y'all, but I don't remember how it went down.
Oh,
And
you
so I
only
saw
had
that
2 drinks?
oh no, I had 2 vodka drinks and like a 12 pack of beer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, even
But
a 12 pack of beer alone is kind of a buzz.
yeah, but I saw that you had posted it, and so I went back to kind of look at myself, and I hate listening to myself on replay, but
Did it break your memory?
I think I still said goodbye appropriately, I think.
Yeah, you didn't do anything inappropriate.
Okay.
At all. Like,
yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, I really didn't drink that much. It was probably like a shot and a half mixed with some. That might have been something that factored in too. It was mixed with like a NOS energy drink.
oh, you mix vodka with an energy drink?
It's what I had.
We used to do that in Vegas at parties with Red Bull, vodka and Red Bull. Somebody would bring the case of Red Bull, and somebody would bring the vodka.
Yeah. But
I didn't like it
no,
though.
you're talking about like seeking out. You were just talking about like straight dudes seeking out these alternative.
Well, Mike was saying that
Oh, okay.
RuPaul here, RuPaul really changed the minds of a lot of straight men into looking into alternative lifestyles.
Oh,
And
okay.
I said, why are they all trying to look into alternative lifestyles in the first place? What's going on with them?
No, I don't know if I've told the story, but when I was a freshman in college, um, it was like 2 or 3 dudes got invited over to hang out with a handful of the chicks in their room, and I think just to have fun, they were like, "Oh, well, we want to play dress up with y'all." And I was the only one willing to do it. They were like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." And I was like, "Yeah, these guys are losers. I want to play with the girls." You know what I'm saying? Like, you can dress me up. You can paint my nails. You can put me. And I always had a buzz cut back then, so I have no hair on my head, no hair on my face, and man, they put
Did you
me in
have
a
the
mini.
beard?
No, not then.
Oh.
But they put me in a mini skirt and a tube top, and they painted my nails and put makeup on my
No.
face. They touched me just about everywhere. I was loving it. I'm like, hey, if if dressing like a woman ain't right, I don't want to be.
Oh, any chance you have pictures?
They did take a picture and they posted it like on the community board on the men's side on the men's floor on my side of the hall. And all I could do was laugh at it. I was like, yeah, But the funnier thing about it is one of the women from that night is now my wife of 11 years. So,
One of the women that put you in drag?
oh yeah, we went to college together, and then we both went our separate ways and got back together and got married at 30 years old.
Wow.
So everybody can kiss my whole ass. I win in the end.
What a
No,
great
man.
story. So they didn't have a wig or anything. They just used your
Yeah,
shaved
no.
head.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And there I was, bald and beautiful, wearing a mini skirt and a tube top.
Did you make a good woman?
No, I did not. But I smiled for the picture, you know what I mean? And I enjoyed all the interaction. Like, I wasn't exactly a popular dude, getting the ladies and stuff like that. So to have that type of interaction, I was like, I was down for whatever.
Did you have a name?
No, I don't think they gave me a name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what Mike's talking about. That's happening to more men than we realize.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm not sure about necessarily the full-on alternative lifestyle, but I will say to be scared of somebody else's lifestyle, that phobic, when you
Yeah.
put that phobic on there, I do see some insecurities that really people need to, I think still people need to shed that stuff and like be secure in yourself to where you don't have to be afraid of how I live my life because I'm not afraid of how you live your life.
Yeah. It really shouldn't affect you. That's to me it's poor boundaries when what somebody else is doing is having that much of an effect on you.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that's
on
how I.
rip the band-aid off. The tuck. But on RuPaul, every season, the queens, as part of they do little challenges each week, and one of them is they have to make up other people into drag queens. And a lot of times it's guys or family members. Sometimes they have to dress up their dads. One year they had to do a bunch of construction workers and turn them into drag queens. So every year they take some guys and um, drag them up that have never been in drag before. In fact, one of the guys ended up being a contestant on a later season because he liked it so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like even when I was a little kid, other kids in the neighborhood, well, somebody that was my age, a girl, and when we would hang out, sometimes it was, the what do you call it? Like the non-binary activities, like riding a bike. All kids ride bikes, or throwing rocks into the creek or whatever. Everybody does that stuff just to spend time together. But like if it was an in-house activity, I'm over at her place sometimes, and she's got the girl toys. She's got the kitchen. She's got the the dolls and stuff. Baby dolls and stuff. And here we are, like 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever. And to think that I didn't play house with my friend. Now, I was the boy and she was the girl, but we did the full on pretending to be uh, in the like a married situation type role and take care of the baby and
Oh yeah, we did that growing up too with my
yeah.
sister. And we'd have like our stuffed animals would be the baby. And my sister had like one of those little toy kitchens, and we would like plan meals and what's for dinner tonight and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because I mean, everything when I was playing with the other boys, it was either sports or like GI Joes, and we would have war or
Yeah,
cops and robbers, a lot of running and violence and stuff like
I
that. But
loved war.
it is what it is. Well, what
Did you
else is
work
going
today?
on?
Not
Yeah, I did
much.
work today.
Me too. Work.
Yeah, it was like I said, I think I told you before, we're changing from the 5-day to the 4-day schedule.
Oh
So
yeah.
this was one of my
At four
first
tens, you said?
yeah, it was one of
Have
my
you worked
first
one yet?
long days. Yeah, today.
Oh, today was a 10. How did you find it?
Um Today was okay because we're actually busy enough to where I could stay in my section. I did kind of have to drag it out a bit, but then I really only had to hang around for about an hour or so after we finished. So, did some cleaning, did some, what do you call it? Like housekeeping in my area. And then I went into the office and looked at my upcoming paycheck on the computer and just kind of stared at it for a little bit. And then it was like, okay, time to go.
Is that for motivation?
Yeah. And planning and all that.
Mhm.
It's not like I don't expect close to the same thing every time, but when I need to waste some time, I go and look at it. Just to make sure I'm not shocked on payday that something happened, or I've been shocked before and gotten significantly more than I thought I was going to get, and I
Are
was
you
like, oh,
every 2 weeks or twice a month?
it's every 2 weeks, so
So you get an
it,
extra paycheck every now and then?
yeah, and February sucks.
Oh. Yeah, if
But
if I can get in a groove, if I have actual work to do, an actual task, and it's not just busy work, I can get into my zone, and then I don't even feel the time. It can be 8 hours, 10 hours, 5 hours, whatever. I don't feel it at all. I'm so focused on the work. But it's when I have to keep coming in and out of my zone or finding stuff to do just because I'm on the clock that makes the day drag out.
Yeah. Because I tell you what, where they say time flies when you're having fun, and if you enjoy your job and you staying busy,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm in my
somebody's like,
flow state.
you know, by the time you finish, it was like, man, where did those 8 hours or 9 hours go? But when you finish early and you have to find something to do, man, I could walk around that warehouse, and that warehouse is 3 to 4 football fields large. It's not the biggest
Wow.
warehouse in the. It's not even the biggest warehouse on the block, but that's about how big it is. And I could walk around on foot, not even driving fast or nothing, just walk around and pick up things, find damages, put things back where they belong, chit chat with people. I could do laps around that thing and be like, "Oh man, it's only been 30 minutes and I got 2 more hours to go." And it's like, man, it turns into a walking. What's up, brother?
Here's another hard worker.
What's going on?
Just chatting about
Doing
our
good.
workaday lives. What's up with you?
Oh, just coming to chit chat for a
Well,
minute.
we did. You got abducted last night.
I did.
Yeah, you disappeared into nowhere.
Yeah, well, I usually do.
Yeah, you do. That's well. While we have you, what's going on? What's new?
Oh, nothing's new.
I guess
Nothing's
that's
new.
good.
Same shit, different day, buddy.
What are you having to eat tonight?
I had tacos.
Oh, did you make them or pick them up?
I made them.
With the little, like the mix and the ground beef.
Yeah.
I love those. Oh man, I'm gonna have to give me some this week. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah. You might as well just go to Taco Bell or Taco John's or
I think
whatever.
the home cooked kind is even better.
Well, they are, but you're gonna spend fucking way more. Oh fuck.
Oh, to do it at home?
Well,
Taco
no,
Bell
you're
is
a
so
single
greasy
man,
these
so a
days.
single man, yeah, unless you and your roommate chip in for dinner and then, but
Oh,
still.
you're not getting. I can eat the whole thing. It
But I'm
makes
just
like
saying, a
what,
single
12
man,
tacos?
it probably wouldn't be that bad, but for a family of 5, it's still like fucking 50, $60.
I remember when I was 11 years. It was for my 11th birthday. My mom let me have a slumber party with my friends, and she let me have the house to myself. And she went and spent the night somewhere, and took all my brothers and sisters with her. And she cooked those tacos, and she
Oh, I
left them
bet
on the
she
stove
did.
for us, and we
I
could
bet
make our
you
own
she did cook some
tacos, and we could
tacos.
do whatever we wanted in the house that day. And it was like kind of being an adult, I guess.
What do they say when they leave the house? Just don't burn the house down.
Yeah, just don't burn the house down. We
Yeah.
did run around and like probably jump on the furniture a little bit, but that was kind of normal. But then I just remember eating tacos and sitting in front of the TV and like
Oh, I did
talking and
one time.
laughing.
So I remember I was allowed to cook scrambled eggs, oatmeal, a grilled cheese, and ramen noodles. It was what I was when my parents first started letting me cook when they weren't home. That's what I was allowed to cook, right? Well, I remember I had a paper towel sitting beside the stove, and it caught on fire. I was I was probably 10 at the time, and nobody was home. I panicked, so like I tossed it, right. Well, it like landed in the living room on the carpet. It was that short rug carpet, whatever. It fucking melted like a little tiny hole. Like, I mean, it was probably like an inch by like a quarter inch, right? But it was a burn mark nonetheless. My parents got home. That was like the first thing my dad noticed when he walked in. He goes, "What happened to my rug?" I go, uh, uh.
Yeah.
Look,
Did you get a burn mark in your ass that night?
I may have. I may have caught a fucking belt across the ass for that. Not even for the whole, not even for burning it, for lying. Just for the fact I
Oh,
lied about it.
you tried to lie your way out of the burn
Yeah,
mark?
I go, I don't know where that came from. I don't know what you're talking about.
So you threw the paper towel on the floor? You didn't throw it in the sink or anything?
Well, look, I was panicking, okay? Like, I didn't know what to fucking do. I was a 10-year-old fucking kid at the time. I didn't know what to fucking do.
I would.
Like, I think what happened is I went to run to it's like the bathroom, right? Because I think the bathroom sink was closer than the kitchen sink was to the
Oh,
stove.
okay. And
And
some
I
of it
think it
fell
lined
off.
up, if memory serves me right, it just got too low. And I panicked and I tossed it, because it burned my fingers. And it fucking, yeah. Yeah. Things we do. Just like I can remember right around the same age, 9, 10, watching National Geographic, and cats always land on their
Food.
feet. So what did I do? I opened up the fucking window, and we lived up on the second story. What did I do? I opened up the fucking window, tossed the fucking cat out the window. My mother's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I go, "Oh, it's okay. They always land on their feet." Meantime, the fucking cat ran down, fucking almost got hit by about 10 cars. I definitely caught a fucking spoon across the ass for that one.
Oh.
A wooden spoon.
Yep. Yeah. I've seen many of those broken on my brothers. I never got spooned, but they got
See,
plenty
this
of
is
them.
what's wrong with kids nowadays. They
They
didn't. They
don't have
don't
to
have
go
no
and get the
fucking
spoon.
obedience. Like it's crazy.
IG 9 hours. That's like all night long.
What?
Were your parents around? Leggy, did they eventually let you cook again or cook other stuff? Or was that it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Just like I remember. April Fool's Day was yesterday. Here, it was funny because Monday or whatever day it was, and fucking my I remember. So I see on like was it Nickelodeon or something? It was like prank you can do or something, handless pranks, and was you put salt in your mother's sugar or something like that. I mean, yeah, put salt in your mother's sugar and for a coffee. Well, I did that to my mother. The next morning, she got up and made me oatmeal. I put sugar on top of it. It was that salt.
I put salt in my oatmeal. Nickelodeon was teaching kids this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it might have been Nickelodeon. I can't fucking remember, dude. That was fucking a lifetime ago now. Fuck.
Yeah, time like we just said, time flies when you're having fun. And life is sure full of fun.
I think it is. A lot of times it was full of fun because we made it fun. We
Dude,
thought of
I am
ways to make
36 and
sure
I'm
it had
thinking,
fun in it.
where the fuck is my 30s gone? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, holy fuck. It was bad enough the fucking 20s went fast, but
Well, double that. It doesn't get. I don't know. It stretches on. I don't think it accelerates anymore than it
Yeah, I
does when you're
still
30. It
I,
just
I still
keeps
think to myself
accumulating.
sometimes. I still think to myself sometimes like um I've been out of the military longer more amount of time than I was old when I joined. Like I've already lived my previous life over again since
yeah,
then. And that's
yeah,
wild.
that's crazy. Yeah,
And it still feels like yesterday.
it
Yeah.
does, don't it, dude? Dude, there's some memories you hold on to, and then fucking things is like, really? That was that long ago? It's just it blows your fucking mind. Especially when you see somebody you haven't seen for a while and you start talking and you think, man, like, holy fuck, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Does it take you right back, or is it different?
No, I mean, it takes me back, but then I'm like, fuck, man. I go, I've got old now. I've got fucking civilized, domesticated.
You're not the same person.
I mean, I am to the core, but like, I guess I'm not. I mean, I got kids, so it's hard to really be spontaneous when you have kids per se. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like, if I want to,
kids,
when I didn't
kids
have
are
kids,
spontaneous.
that's true. But when I didn't have kids, I could be like, hey, let's take a ride to Boston. Hey, let's take a ride here. You know, like,
Oh
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because we could sleep in the car if we had to. Like, whatever. Like, that shit didn't, hey, let's go to New York. Like, all that shit. It never bothered me. Now it's fucking, you got to try to plan that shit around for that shit. So,
Yeah. You have to be responsible and
yeah.
consider other people.
And even though I don't consider myself old, I'm about to be 42. Um, but like you said about if you don't see somebody since high school or you didn't see somebody for 15, 20 years, something like that, even at at this age, I still think to my like, yeah, first things first, it like takes me back and be like, oh yeah, hell yeah. But then I think to myself, I'm like, you're still alive? Because, the only catch up, like I don't really talk to anybody from high school. I all my friends went to different schools than me. But when I get like a notification from the high school, it's like, oh, so and so passed away. And I was like, I think I had a class with that person. And some of them didn't even make it to 30. And it's like, oh, well. And then, my mother in law, I think she just had, God, what would it have been? Like 40 years? Like, yeah, like 40. She's probably pushing close to her 50th high school graduation
Oh
anniversary.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And it's like, for people to make it through entire lives, like all the bullshit that happens is like they just start dropping like flies. So if you had a small class, um, there might only be 20 people left by the time you reach a
Yeah, where the
milestone.
hell? Like, last summer I seen a sign, and it was like, class of 68 reunion. I was like, holy fuck, man. Class of 1968, and they're having a reunion? How many of them motherfuckers are still alive? Like, you know what I mean? Really, if you think about it,
Yeah.
especially in this area.
Yep. I think that's when you got to start combining reunions so that way you take like all the high schools from the county so that way you can have 50 people show up, you know what I mean?
Right? Well, at a certain point, you might as well get the classes you went to school with and have them all intermingle.
Right.
All the
Yeah.
classes from the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah.
During COVID, some friends and I from the same classes connected and started zooming together for a while. And so it was kind of that feeling of reuniting, but it was over video call.
Then I'll see people that, like, I didn't graduate with them, but, like, I went to high school with them, and they'll be talking to me like a basketball game. There was this woman and this dude sitting behind me. The guy, I remember the guy, but he went to a different high school, but I remember him. So I was talking to him, and they got ready to leave, and they left, and she said something. She called me by my nickname in high school. She's like, talk to you later. And I was thinking, like, who the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean? It fucking, whatever. So finally, I seen him one day, and I go, look, your wife's name, what is it? And he told me, I go, yes. I go, that's exactly who it is. I go, I haven't seen her for so long that it just, I forgot her. Like, you know what I mean?
And I see them on Facebook, and a lot of them look exactly like I remember them. Like no time has passed at all. I don't know if it's my memory distorting it or what, but they don't look different just because they're aged.
Some of the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, bub.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially like for me, I feel like I had a different experience as well because, like I've got some friends now that I've met since I've lived where I've lived, so I've known them for just over 10 years, and they were born here, raised here, went to school here, still live here, and they're thriving on different levels in the fields that they went into, but they never, they might have lived in this apartment or in this neighborhood or whatever, but they never left this city as far as where they lived. And for me, it was like California, Ohio, Florida, North Carolina. And so every stage of my life, every few years, like not just moving to like a new house or a different apartment or taking a new job or something like that, like a monumental change. Like you don't even live in the same quarter of the country anymore.
Oh, I understand that, dude. Imagine being a fucking, you know. So I started kindergarten up here, right, in Maine, and then we moved. My grandmother got sick, so we moved to fucking Baltimore, right? So imagine being a fucking white kid from fucking Maine and moving down to fucking Baltimore. Being one
Yeah.
of only two white kids in the whole entire the whole entire kindergarten class, right?
How did
Whole
that happen?
dude, it was weird. And then Dude, and then I can remember going to North Carolina. From there, we moved to North Carolina, and dude, it got a little bit better, but it was still here. I am, essentially. But by this time, I'd hardened up a little bit because I spent fucking few years in that. So as a young kid, I already had a foul mouth on me. That's why we moved back to Maine, really, because my dad seen it. He goes, "Yep." You go, you're gonna be a fucking hellion if we stay here. Cause like, I was close to my cousins and they ran the roads and all that shit. Like there was no guidance. Here they are at fucking little fucking kids fucking running the road. Cause what I found weird, and I've never experienced this anywhere else that I've ever lived, but down there, dude, in the summertime, as soon as you get dark out, fucking everybody comes outside. You don't see a fucking soul during the day. But at night, everybody's the fuck outside. I was like, what the fuck, Being outside, young kid, midnight, 1 o'clock, never experienced anything like that till I lived down there. It was crazy.
Yeah, something I noticed about, like I said, about the move-in so much, and I'm probably still like this today, um, is that I got really good at letting go of people, of places. Um, it's like, oh, it's time to move. Okay, just pack your stuff and go. It's like, oh, well, some people are like, oh, I'm gonna miss, I'm gonna miss, I'm gonna miss. I'm like, hey, you got to look forward and you got to be ready for that next assimilation process. You can't hang on to stuff like, you know what I mean? You got to be ready to fit in to the puzzle piece in the new place. So, you know, when I don't see my even my best friends for a long, long time, it's nice that we have technology and you can drop a line every once in a while. But when you don't see somebody like that for a long time, it's like, well, where in the world are you? And it's like, oh, I'm over here and I'm over here now, and this much has changed. And it's like, okay, but you still have to be that you still have to be the peg that fits in the hole of where you are right now. It's like you can't be like, oh, I wish I could go back to yada yada. I've never gone back. Just
You're
let them
able to
go.
just like detect, like sever. that way.
Yeah.
I can do it. I can do it physically, but emotionally, part of me still lives in the old, whatever I'm leaving behind.
I mean, like me, I'll have memories and think about shit like and all that. But like me, I've had many different groups. Like Untrackable was saying, I've had many different groups of friends throughout my life. But I've always wind up coming back down east somehow throughout my life. I always wind up back down here. Like even if it's for a short time, always so like when I moved to Jonesport. There was enough people that I went to school with that had moved down here, or like I've met, like I was friends with during high school that lived down here and shit. So like I knew enough people that when I moved here, I could set up roots and not be a complete stranger in town, if that makes sense. Plus, I'm a very talkative person, so like I get in there and I get talking to people and I get knowing people and yeah, insert myself into conversations.
Well, how long have you been there now?
In Jonesport, 7 years.
Oh, is that where you grew up?
Well, the same. How do I put this? Down East Maine. I grew up in Down East Maine, but I didn't grow up in Jonesport. Like Jonesport's a whole different school. They have their own school system. So I went to a whole different. I went to the other school. So the rival school. So yeah.
And different states. Like when you talk about same, different states are so small. It's like just being from the state makes you from the same place.
Yeah,
Whereas,
well, Maine's a little bit different, but same idea. Like, so me, down east Maine's pretty much, uh, it's, it's Washington County, but it's like Steuben down to, Machias. And then once you get past Machias, it's still like down east Maine, but it's like,
Oh, look, we have another
it's a
Mainer.
little bit, yeah.
Lewiston, Limestone, Freeport.
Yeah, and all of them are complete yeah, yeah. Limestone's completely different than fucking both of them fucking places.
All things serious, do you have the leggy accent?
Probably not.
Oh.
Probably not.
Well, let's see what this guy's story is,
what's up, Mike?
Where he's from.
What's up? What's going on?
What's up?
What's happening?
We're just talking about our past and like where we all lived and how hard it was to leave, how hard or easy it was to leave places behind when we had to move.
I only lived in two places my entire life. I only lived in two places.
And Virginia.
And Virginia Beach. That's it. I mean, two cities, Queens and Virginia Beach.
I thought you spent time in the country or something, up in the mountains.
No, we would hunt and stuff like that, but no, not like your residence. No, did not live there. Yeah, Virginia has some great hunting clubs. There's a couple in the Appalachians. There's a couple upstate Virginia. Yeah, but no. I've only lived in two cities in my entire life. That's it. Two cities: Queens and Virginia Beach. That's it.
And how old were you when you left Queens?
In my 20s. It was in my 20s.
Okay. So you were already developed.
Half New York, but mainly in Virginia. I've been in Virginia for almost 30 years, but the first 19, 20 years in Queens. So I saw New York back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That was a wild place, man.
Wow, were you around for the punk scene, like CBGBs and all that?
That's more Manhattan, more of like Greenwich Village, Manhattan scene.
What is Queens? Is that where Archie Bunker lives?
No, Queens was more hip hop. was more like a hip hop scene.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, more rap and hip hop. Yeah, Queens is great. Queens was awesome. It was awesome growing up in Queens. Very diverse. Yeah, it's just neat. And of course, being from an Italian background, a lot of your family lived in Brooklyn, so we would visit Brooklyn, Bensonhurst, and Bay Ridge. And it's funny because in New York back then, the 5 boroughs, every single borough was like a different world. Even though you're only traveling 30, 45 minutes, it was like a completely different country, if that even makes sense. Track probably knows what I'm saying. It's like totally different. Yeah, it was interesting. No.
Where's Leggy off to? He's not even driving.
Yeah. Did you enjoy?
I was just showing my 100 miles per hour.
Oh, you must be parked.
Yeah, I'm home. I'm just sitting outside.
Oh, okay. You're sitting
I'm not driving. I'm home.
Sitting outside his car streaming.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're inside watching fucking Babysitters Club or something like that. I'm like, I'm going outside and gonna smoke a couple cigarettes.
Stream.
Yeah.
So Jeff, did you enjoy your social experiment, your troll day?
I did. I really did. It didn't turn out to be trolly at all. Like none of the trolls really showed up.
Mainly just in chat, basically, just chat trolls.
There were a few of them in chat, but really it was just us cutting up and
talking
and having a good time.
That was funny. When I changed my screen to Jeff, Jeff's like, "Wait a second, I'm not wearing what the fuck's going on here?" He thought he had to check to see if he was wearing sunglasses. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was jumping different channels. So I wanted to come up, but I was like, it was really no use to, because you were having so much fun with the people you had. You, Track, Elena, you guys were having fun. So, there was really you didn't need me to come up and do anything. You guys were having a blast. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, we never need you to do anything, Mike. We just like your presence. That's all. That's all.
Do you? So, Leggy, you like my presence? Is that what you do? You like it? Yeah. I don't think you do, but that's okay. That's all right.
What are you talking?
I thought you guys were friends, yo.
What are you talking about, Mike? This is just a friendly ball busting between some dude. That's all. That's all. Untrackable gets it.
I push you and you get mad.
Who's
we're
mad?
He pushed you and you got
totally
mad.
Good. I'm not mad, Jeff. I never get mad.
I think you're flicking each other's
my
balls.
avatar the blue guy, you get mad at me.
Oh, that doesn't bother me. Dude, that does not bother me at all. I made you think it bothered me, but it does not. It's fun. It's actually funny.
You're like so multi-layered with your trolling.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous.
What's a troll or not?
I don't even know who I am. Like, I can't figure out who am I doing? What am I?
Does any of us? I have no clue who I am either.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this to go on.
But this is what's true. The bottom line is this: all of us up here right now can actually drop it and have a conversation. A lot of people that do troll can't do that. Hopefully everyone agrees.
I do. I think you're right. That is the sign of some kind of maturity.
Yeah. So, like Leggy said, ball bust. But when we're talking about something serious or something relevant, we drop it and have a conversation. That's all.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We try to most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it. I've had conversations with every one of you. Beyond the troll.
I don't know. Leggy's the most incorrigible person up here. Leggy is probably the biggest ball buster on YouTube. He really is.
Dude, I'm a fisherman, and I was in the fucking military. Of course, I'm a ball buster. Of course, I am.
Oh God!
And like I
you
said,
don't think, you don't think fucking us fishermen don't play pranks on each other all day on the fucking boat?
I know. Oh,
I got the memory of a fish, so I gotta drop it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's funny because I've never seen Untrackable be spicy till I saw yesterday. He was like being a little spicy.
He was. I did. I saw a little side of him that he brought a little bit of fire.
Look at that man. fucking
think
look
that
at
Bradley
Untrackable's
guy
beard,
was
how dark
starting to
that
get
is.
under
Hulk
his skin.
Hogan's
All right,
fucking.
I'm gonna do an impression of Untrackable. This is Untrackable every single stream. I wish you the best. I love you guys. I want the best for everybody. Okay, ready? This is Untrackable last night. Last night, ready? Fuck your mama. Fuck everyone else.
Look, this motherfucker. Look, if he took and did the fucking mustache and the fucking shoe man fucking down and did it blonde, man, he give Hulk Hogan fucking Hollywood Hogan a fucking run for his money. 97 Hogan. Look at that. Look how dark that is, man. Hogan's fucking jealous of that shit. He can never go that dark natural. He had to use the
If
fucking.
Untrackable,
Look at that. This motherfucker's
Untrackable
dark.
last night. I have it quoted. Untrackable said last night, and if your house was on fire, I wouldn't even piss on it to put it out. So go die. That's what.
Well,
no, it was to see Untrackable in troll mode was strange. It was just out of character. That's all. Not saying it was bad. It was just different. It was
how
a
do you
different
know
side.
him going? I hope you guys have
Yeah.
love and peace and all that. How do you know that's not the troll? And what we got yesterday is the real him. How do we not know?
Ooh,
How do we not know?
Leggy's going deep.
Like he's onto
Huh?
like he's onto something. It's Untrackable. You're really a deep down evil man.
He could be
You're
Untrackable could be the best troll of all.
I am not.
Game.
I am not deep down an evil man, but for every good man must maintain the capabilities of doing evil in the name of good. You understand that, right?
Look, all I
But
know
then
is
how-
I trust no man that had a fucking rockin' ass beard and then shaved it off and looks 12. I trust no man like that. Sorry.
I don't understand though. How does good require evil to do something in its name?
Maybe I said it wrong, but good men stand ready to do bad things to bad men in the name of good. So it's like
to bad men. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the good and evil. Yeah, I just kind of I come from where I come from. I am capable of really tearing some stuff up, but that's not who I want to be.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it's either fun or it's necessary. And these are words. These aren't the bad things that could become necessary to like save a life or something like that. But
sure. And people, and you're right. Like, no, sorry, I'm not saying it like Untrackable. You're right. And listen, everyone wants to make fun and say that I'm making things up, but there have people that have gone real life on me, like calling family and calling jobs, stuff like that.
Well,
there have
not this again.
But to tie into what Untrackable's saying, these are just words on the internet. You should never go real life on people. That's all I'm trying to say, and I'll leave it there. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think we all agree.
Yep, that's all.
It's scummy.
Yeah, I honestly, and this touches what you said. I think probably as far as anyone should take it, especially with the panel verse, when you're showing your face and you're using your words, and anybody that finds you anywhere, if they want to go hard, they clip you and then they make you immortal, in their own way. They can put commentary next to your name and call you all kinds of things and stuff like that.
Well,
To me,
let's face it, up here on panel, the only one that has about, I'd say 1,005,000 trillion fucking clips would be Mike Cerrone. And he also has a fucking thing on tenor that you can use as a meme. Just
a
saying.
GIF.
Yeah.
GIF.
Yeah. So Untrackable.
But Leggy, why is that? Why am I so important?
Yeah,
to
where's the
Leggy
GIF?
Because I feel like you. I'm trying. I don't want this to turn into a shit show, so I'm trying.
No, I want to hear your honest opinion. I want to. Yeah.
I feel like we've caught you double talking a few times and caught you in a few lies, So I think that's what's played into it. And you do and say some funny things, and that makes people go, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" So I think that's why you're you're kind of charismatic. So I mean, as I said before, and we've had this conversation, if you started your own channel just for the hate watch alone, you would fucking beat Mr. fucking Beast. I mean, come on now.
But Leggy, do you
Let's
think
be real.
this is not about me? But Leggy, do you think certain people on YouTube, other people can't figure them out? They can't figure out the recipe of what's making them the way that they are
Well, I
because
think there's some people on here that that do definitely use you as their content 100%. Like
some.
90% of their videos are you. I will say that. With that being said, uh, I will reiterate, you do say some really foolish things sometimes that
Of
make people
course,
go, "What the fuck?" And you
of
do
course.
double talk, like with the whole black credit card thing. I remember that from when I first come on YouTube. You did
Mhm.
say it, and then you retracted it, and then tried to
Mhm.
say we made it up. And at that
Okay.
time, I had no point to try to lie because I really didn't know you. And then you know what I mean. So
What's the
like,
Sure.
black credit card thing?
Yeah, that's the main focus, Jeff, a black credit. But the bottom line is this. Someone asked me if I
what?
had a black credit card, and I said I did have one, but it was a MasterCard. It was not an Amex. It was
What's
a
a
black
black credit
MasterCard.
card?
Black
Like a
credit
credit
So
card for
card pretty
black
much
people?
is like
a
you
very
have
high
like
limit, very high
a
limit,
very
very high
very
limit.
high
Oh,
limit.
the
You have
Black
to spend.
American Express.
But
Yeah, you
I said openly, no, I don't have a black Amex, but I do have a black MasterCard. See, they
I want a
they
black card.
have no content. So they take what you said, just like when I said I'm a contractor. All of a sudden I'm an FBI agent. And they run with it. They don't
Yeah,
have
I know.
anything.
I've seen them do it with me.
Without me, they have nothing. Sorry to make it about me, Jeff. And Jeff, you're gonna get mad at me. And Leggy, when you said us, means you were a part of that spreading of lies.
well,
When you
no.
said
When I say
us,
us, I meant like us as the community as a whole. Like,
but
I
you're not
mean,
part of
if
a
you want to
community.
include me in that, but I mean, if you
That
want to
community
include
with
me in that, okay. But
you're
like as
right,
far
Leggy.
as like playing clips, I don't clip you and I don't share clips of you to people. So like that I'm
Right,
not partaking in that. Yes, I
right,
watch the clips, I get a good laugh, but I'm not the one actually clipping you, sending them and fucking and putting them out to the masses. That's other people.
right.
There's plenty of
But
other people
why?
doing it.
But why do they
Well,
do that? Because Leggy, let me ask you,
as I
Leggy, I want
said,
to
I
ask
feel
you.
because you have put your foot in your mouth a few times and people like to watch the foolishness that
I'm
whatever.
trolling.
Or sometimes you'll come up like the other day when we were up here. Nobody was trying to ride your ass. You were having a bad day the other day, and you can say what you
Bad
want.
day.
You were having a rough day for whatever reason. You were in your own head and you thought you thought untrackable, you thought I was. You even thought Jeff
No,
was busting your balls and riding your ass.
no,
Like,
no.
like you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't trolling you when I said I heard a TV in the background. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't saying it was you. I'm just saying I did hear a TV in the background. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you got upset. You started saying, lazy, focus, divorce, blah, blah, blah. You're driving 100 miles per hour. Like, you know what I mean? You got all up inside your feelings on it. And sure enough, you getting up in that and making a fool of yourself, they clipped it. You get my point? Like, you make a fool of yourself so it gets clipped of the shit you say. Not everything.
Leggy.
The good conversations never get clipped and never get played.
Right. But
You know what I
Leggy,
mean?
the only one making a fool of themselves is you right now because you're the one talking about something from days ago. And then when
Well,
you
no,
said,
you
"Look,
asked though. You
but you when you
asked. He's
said no,
just giving his
all right,
honest
that's okay. That's right,
Yeah,
Jeff.
insight
like
into
you
what you're
see,
Check
see
this
trying to
now
out.
you're
find
Let
trying
out.
me
to say,
finish. Let me finish. When you came up, Leggy, and said, "Look, I'm not driving right now. I'm not going 100 miles an hour," means you've been thinking about my comments for 2 days now.
well, no. Only
They've
reason
been
I did
on
it
your
is Mr.
mind for
B
two
earlier
days.
today. No,
Because
no.
that's
I
how
forgot
much,
all
no,
about it
that's all
till
right,
Mr.
Leggy.
B
That's how much
earlier
my
today.
acceptance is needed for you.
No, Mike,
You
you
want my
asked him.
acceptance.
You asked.
Well,
That's
I
why
did
he's saying it.
earlier.
I doubt he'd even
Earlier,
be
I did
talking
show
about
the
it.
odometer and whatever, and I said no, I did it to Mike see I wasn't because Mr.
What
B
would
earlier
so
made a
what would it
joke
so
about it.
would everybody
Mr.
so would
B
every
earlier made a
no, it's
joke
okay.
about
It's all
it,
right.
so
Yeah,
like it was fresh in
yeah.
my mind the Mr. B joke from earlier today.
Right. I know
That's
I
why I
know
was
who
doing it.
yeah. Mr. B is nothing.
So
But
I'm just saying he made a joke
what would
about it
you
earlier, so it was
yeah, of
fresh in my
course.
head.
It's an
That's
old
why
man
I
in
did it.
Florida that will never
How did
come
how
on
did we
panel.
get on this not going to be
Yeah.
a shit show thing to begin with?
So let me.
Well,
So what is the answer? Is the answer for me just to leave YouTube? Just to leave? Is that the answer? Is that what everyone wants? Me just to leave?
Let it roll
I'm
off of
said
you.
asking. I'm
that.
Like I don't
asking.
just be resilient. Like why does it even affect you? Just let
Well,
it roll
Mike, that's
off.
not what I was saying because we've had
Jeff, it
good
doesn't affect. Jeff, it
conversations.
doesn't affect me
It
at all.
seems like it does because we've been
No,
talking
no,
about
no,
it for the last
not at
20
all.
minutes.
I
You
mean,
having a
I'm
bad
being
read?
respectful. I'm not
Yeah,
insulting you. I'm giving you my perspective of why people clip you. You asked me why, and I gave you my perspective of it. Like,
gotcha, gotcha.
so
How
some
about this, Leggy? How about people clip me because they're boring pieces of trash that have nothing else to talk about? Could that be the case? Just asking. Just asking.
well,
Because they're
I
boring. They
think
have
it's hard to
nothing to
talk
talk
about
about.
something else when
Go
you
Yeah.
ahead,
give them the
Track.
content. Like, but go ahead, Untrackable, Bub. Go ahead.
Yeah, from what I've seen in my experiences over the past little more than a year, a clip is going to clip. That's what they do. It doesn't matter if it's you or anybody else. Clip is going to clip.
Yeah.
But I love going to other panels and they're actually having a conversation. They're talking about relevant things in life. They're having fun. They're laughing. These are people that go up. You see what Mike said 3 years ago?
Well, we were doing that here just now
That's
tonight.
that's the weirdest thing ever. These are people older than me. These aren't people that have a life. That's all. I'm here to have a good time. That's it.
Well, let's do
But
that.
Leggy,
What do you want to talk about?
But Leggy, I do apologize. I like to troll a lot, so I do apologize. I'm going to cut it back. I'm going to cut it way back. So, all right. Do you think that we're going to go to
Untrackable's got
war?
something to say.
With who? I personally don't think we are, but I heard like rumors about Iran now.
Sure. Yeah. From what I heard, because I live in a military town and Track. I live in Virginia Beach, so I'm living in a Navy town. There's Army bases up going towards Newport News and Hampton, but the carrier group is here at Norfolk, and apparently
What's the carrier group?
The leading force in the American military. The carrier group. They tried to attack the aircraft carriers.
Aircraft carrier. Okay.
Yeah. And now Trump is pissed, and now we're bombing inside Iran. So it could be on the cusp of something much more deadly. So it is something that's interesting. Interesting in a bad way.
Let me try to find the latest.
Yeah.
Because I did see something about Iran.
Leggy,
U.S. sends second aircraft carrier to Middle East as Trump threatens to bomb Iran. U.S. moves B-2 stealth bombers to Indian Ocean Island in a massive show of force to Houthis and Iran.
And that's Leggy's territory. B-2 bombers, that's Air Force. So Leggy knows all about the Air Force has all the nuclear capabilities. I mean, the Navy does too, but the bombers, Leggy, tell me if I'm wrong, I think are Air Force. The bombers. Yeah.
Let me check Twitter.
And Track, not me cut you out. You're an Army guy. You're a grunt. So, you had artillery and, throwing grenades at people. But no,
I'm not even a grunt, bro. I'm a cook. Yeah. Or I was a cook. I was a cook. I wasn't even a grunt, bro.
But you went through basic. But you can still shoot, though. You know how to shoot, though. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, the folks always the hero in the stories.
My perspective on the world as it is right now is, I see this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna mind my own fucking business. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, hey, we should or we shouldn't, or I'm like this or I'm like that. I'll tell you how I am. I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to keep going to work until something actually happens here. And then I'm going to protect my family and my community with whatever we have to do. But I'm not going to foreign countries, and I'm not serving this government. I probably shouldn't have served them in the first fucking place. But it
I'm
was a
glad you
job.
did. Thank you for that.
No, it is what it is. But I was uninformed and dumb then, and now I don't give a shit. So God bless all the young people that were like me then. God bless them now, because they're going to be sent to go do some dumb shit. I think it's a possibility that it'll happen, but all I can do is say God bless you. Do your best, and hopefully you come back in one piece, or with a an understanding that this is what they do to this is what all these countries are doing to their own people. The Russians just conscribed like 160,000 more, which means they're snatching people up off the street to go and serve. And
Intractable.
The war or not, it's like, come on, man.
Intractable, not to cut you off, Jeff, have you seen the videos where the Russians are kidnapping people off the streets?
I thought it was Ukraine. They're probably both doing it, actually.
To force them to serve, kidnapping them, throwing them into a van, forcing them to serve. That's conscripts. That's what Intractable's talking about. They're making you. It's like a draft, basically, but they're doing it by force. By force. I think Intractable, if I'm not wrong, back in the day, like at the Vietnam era, if you got drafted, you can like flee to like Canada or something like that. You can like leave the country, and get away from the war, and you could come back if you became like a dual citizenship. I don't know this to be true, but for someone to come and
it's defined in history. If you got drafted and you refused, you went to jail. That's what happened to Muhammad Ali. They didn't, they didn't force you to go fight a war that you didn't want to fight. They just called your number, and if your number
got men, not women.
But if they call your number, you either go and do what you were called to do for the cause that was created by governments not getting along, or you get punished with a jail term. Well, that man got punished with a jail term. He did not have to go and do. Now, Elvis Presley got drafted as well, and he got paraded around with kid gloves because of his celebrity. And the argument there was like, well, would Muhammad Ali have been treated like Elvis Presley? Elvis Presley is this pretty boy that plays the guitar and sings to all the ladies, and Muhammad Ali is a literal fighter. But also the racial divide and the pace of the nation at that time. Would they have been treated the same under that? Hey, I'm a celebrity, but I'm going to serve my country. Would they have been treated the same? But at the same time, hey, if you say no, you don't go and risk getting shot at. You just go to jail. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you say no in Russia, they'll probably kill you.
Ooh. They send you to the gulag. They send you to Siberia, and you're never to be seen again. You're gone. You disappear. You're gone. It's terrible. But you're right. You're right. And I think the whole difference between Elvis Presley and Muhammad Ali was Muhammad Ali spoke against the war. Presley's like, okay, whatever you want me to do. They made him a sergeant. They made him a sergeant when he didn't even see one day in combat. To have a sergeant that never fired a weapon, that is, to me, that is completely given out of context. A sergeant earns his stripes. They're not just given. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
But to see that going on with wars that are going on right now that they, I could be at the grocery store and they could track me down because I didn't show up to the depot because of the letter they sent me, and just snatch me up off the street and hand me a cell phone and be like, hey, call your family and tell them we got you and you're going to go do this.
Did you see all the North Korean soldiers that got K-worded in Ukraine? Did you see all the videos? So Russia tried to get North Korea, give them a bunch of what do you call them? What do you call those people? Conscripts. And a bunch of them got K-worded on camera because a lot of the drone footage has cameras on them, and they got obliterated. And I think they stopped sending troops there, but a bunch of them got K-worded. A whole bunch of them. North Koreans. Why are North Koreans in Ukraine? Why? It doesn't make sense.
Because there is some kind of alliance. Welcome, all things serious.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome.
Hey now.
What's going on?
You're on the air.
So I want to get back to the Elvis Presley conversation. So do you know what Elvis Presley did in the military?
I think was he an advisor? What did he do? Exactly.
No, he served as an intelligence specialist, also known as the Cavalry Scout.
Gotcha.
He was stationed in Friedberg, West Germany for 18 months.
Gotcha.
He spent 2 years. He received his stripes in 1960. He went in 58 and he received his stripes in 1960 before he was honorably discharged.
Gotcha. So you think Elvis Presley saw combat?
He never saw combat. He didn't say he saw combat.
That's all we were.
You
that's all we were talking
you,
about.
you don't have to.
No, that's all we were talking about.
I
don't think he saw combat.
On what we were talking about.
I don't think he saw combat. That's what we said. That's what we were talking about.
On the All Things Serious's point was, and from what my experience was that's what'd you say, 2 years, and they gave him sergeant stripes. And the combat has nothing to do with it because there's many jobs in the military, and not all of them are rounds down range. Mine wasn't.
Nope.
I worked my ass off for 6 years, and I wasn't a sergeant. So to be in intelligence, and if he worked his ass off doing his job, to get sergeant after 2 years, like that, to me, that sounds like kid gloves. Like, let's let Elvis Presley leave with a leadership role. He at least he showed up, right? But you can't send Elvis Presley to war. What kind of country would you be if you snatched up your celebrities, somebody like that, and just put them in a dangerous situation? Because so many people know that the draft it's ridiculous. If you're not a good enough country that people are willing to fight for it, and you got to snatch them up off the street, like, why would So to serve 2 years, yeah, good on him. He showed up when his country called his number, but to get sergeant stripes after 2 years, and other people are out there doing their thing because they chose to do it, and they put much more time in, and they actually do the job rather than just be a celebrity. It's kind of like a kick in the nuts. You know what I mean?
And you think they should have done the same thing to Muhammad Ali?
When you if a celebrity gets drafted, the best thing you could do as a nation is use them as a recruiter, a recruiting tool, a propaganda, to be like, hey, your favorite celebrity is serving in the military because they got drafted. Don't turn down your draft. Don't go to jail. You know, don't run to Canada. Serve your country. But that's what they did with Elvis Presley, I believe. But Muhammad Ali said, "Fuck you guys. I'll take the punishment. Because otherwise I'm going to be promoting what still to this day is a questionable thing of whether we should have been there or not. An unjust war." You know what I mean? He stood on business. Elvis Presley stood on celebrity status, I guess you could say.
They didn't treat him as a celebrity when he went in, and he declined special treatment and served as a regular soldier, even declining opportunities to obtain troops. You could do his research.
Okay. I mean, I could be wrong. I've only seen scratch the surface of it, but you know, but I understand. But you kind of see how it kind of becomes coincidence that one of the most popular celebrities of the era.
He got honorary sergeant.
At least he went in and he didn't argue it and fight against it.
I could see that.
Did he get drafted or did he volunteer?
I'm looking this up. I'm researching this. He was drafted, being drafted and serving. He was drafted.
Okay.
He got drafted. He had separate quarters. He got treated like a king, which he was the king. He's the king of everything. But the thing is that to get sergeant stripes in 16, 17, 18 months is ridiculous. I don't have to show you anything. All I'm telling you is to make sergeant. Listen. To make sergeant in 18 months in a non-combat forward role is suspect. That's all we were saying.
It's honorary sergeant, so it's not
okay.
He didn't achieve sergeant the normal
he didn't earn it.
Granted
he didn't earn it. He didn't earn it by his blood, sweat, and tears. It was given to him. That's what Untracked was saying. It wasn't earned. It was given. That's all. That's all I'm
just
trying to say.
find the reason it was given.
Yeah,
and
because he's a celebrity.
Well, that's what y'all are saying, but I want to hear it from the Army.
I understand the honorary promotions. For instance, like Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman was a specialist when he got killed in a questionable accident, if you will. Yep. He was posthumously promoted to sergeant. People that that are at a certain rank and do certain things, a lot of times they don't come home, but they pin them the next rank because they did the thing that soldiers do. And but also you have, the celebrity type. So like Arlie Emery, the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket, he was a staff sergeant when he left the Marine Corps, because
he was a gunny track. He was a gunny.
When he left the Marine Corps and he did that movie, he did such a good job that he was honorarily promoted. Now, he was still alive, but he was honorarily promoted to E7.
You talking about Elvis or Pat?
I'm talking about the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, well, I have the answer from the AI of why Elvis. Because Elvis chose to serve as a regular soldier rather than seeking special treatment. He wanted to be treated like everybody else, and that earned him the respect of his peers and his superiors. And his commitment to duty and discipline, as well as his influence on the public perception of military service, so there was some PR to it, led to the honorary title being awarded. It was a symbolic gesture to acknowledge his contribution and dedication. So he was a celebrity that wanted to be treated like everybody else. And that really impressed them enough to grant him this.
And Untrackable can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Army has a lot of programs where if you go through boot camp and you sign up for an MOS that's going to be 82nd Rangers or Green Beret, I believe you go in as an E5. You go in as a sergeant. So you actually start your career at that level. So it's easier because you're in a command role. You're commanding other people. That's
Well, did we clear up the Elvis thing? But I don't know why. Like, so the thing with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali didn't he refuse? Like, because people are trying to make it racism, but Muhammad Ali flat out refused to be drafted.
Refused. He refused to serve, and he took the side of the Vietnamese people. He refused to serve. He refused to put the uniform on. And you know what? That's his right. That's his right to do. If you don't believe in it,
he
then you
paid
don't
the consequences.
Yeah. But it is, I don't fault him for not believing in something. If you don't believe in it, your heart's not in it, don't go for it. Why would I want,
unless you have to by law.
Okay, but Jeff, if someone
I
is
don't believe in jail, so if I ever get arrested, I'm just not gonna do. That's not something I believe in.
But Jeff, if someone's a soldier, would you rather have a soldier who believes in the same thing you believe in, or a soldier next to you that doesn't believe in what you're doing? I'd rather have the person.
I would want the soldiers there because they want to be there.
That's it, and I'll stop
from some
talking.
kind of intrinsic motivation.
That's it. Yep.
There's a lot of soldiers right now in the military that don't even care about serving their country. They're doing it for the benefits.
Even that, though, is some kind of incentive. So I have to trust that that's going to provide the motivation for them to do a good job.
Sure.
You met Joe Frazier?
Mm-hmm.
How did it go? Did you like each other? Did y'all fight?
A boxer that I knew personally. I knew him personally because he grew up in Norfolk and he lived in Virginia Beach. Was Sweet Pea Whitaker. We talked about, not with you guys, but I personally knew Sweet Pea Whitaker. He was the world champion. He was a smaller guy, but he passed away. But he was one of the best small boxers ever. Smaller guy. He was from Norfolk, Virginia. And
are you a boxing fan?
I love boxing. Love boxing. Yeah. The discipline that it takes to be a boxer is something on a different level. Like martial arts is one thing, but to box, the conditioning and the dedication to your fitness and your diet. I mean, you have to respect those guys. You have to respect them.
But isn't that any athlete has to do that?
No, boxers have something different, Jeff. Boxers are on a different level.
What do you know about Sweet Pea?
What I know about him?
Yeah.
I knew him personally. He passed away on Northampton Boulevard, crossing the street. A drunk driver hit him and K-worded him. But he was the world champ at one point. His fight against Cesar Chavez was one of the best boxing matches I've ever seen. Sweet Pea versus Julio Cesar Chavez, which is one of the best Mexican boxers to ever box.
Oh, Julio Chavez, yeah, legendary.
Remember when Sweet Pea fought Chavez? That was of legend. Their boxing match was of legend, and then Sweet Pea got robbed at the end. But Sweet Pea was the world champion, and I knew him personally. He was a hell of a great guy. Unfortunately, once again, another athlete who gets injured, who gets into the drugs. Unfortunately, that's kind of what happened.
Who, Sweet Pea?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, Sirius, I want to talk to you a little bit. Tell me about your. Oh wow! Tell me about your channel. You do mental health stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm a big advocate for mental health. Too many people to today's society, being on social media, like I was on TikTok for a while, just watching, and I left TikTok because too many people self-diagnose, you know, because one of their favorite people have an issue or a mental health disorder. They're like, yeah, I have it too. And want to be accepted because they think it's cool to make fun of somebody else who's struggling with something. So I speak on that on my channel. I advocate for therapy because I think going to therapy is very important. I talk about different mental health disorders, you know, and what trauma and how trauma has caused these different disorders.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about sobriety because I'm a recovered alcoholic, and I talk about why a lot of people turn to alcohol and substance abuse. Sometimes it's peer pressure, and other times it's trauma related because they're afraid to ask for help or reach out, or they don't know how to because they haven't had the right family and the right upbringing around them to guide them in that direction. So, yeah, I'm a huge advocate for mental health.
Thank you very much. We need that,
and I'm not a
especially
medical
on
professional.
social media.
I am not a medical professional. I'm just somebody who struggles with it.
You're a peer.
Yeah.
So you're more of a peer counselor. And what do you think triggers people the most? Do you think it is past trauma? Do you think it is just like some people are just prone to have addictive personalities to where they get stuck into a cycle of addiction? Like, what do you think is what pulls people in?
Like I've had friends that, you know, they would be at a house party and they would try something and they would get hooked. And it was just because of a house party, you know. But then there's other people that are, you know, have experienced trauma as a child, and they would go to an adult and say, this is what happened. And they'll be like, and they would deny it. You know what I'm saying? Because that has happened years ago in many families. I have talked to many people that have gone through it, you know, that were taken advantage of by a family member, and they didn't want to, you know, that attention on the family. So they would try to sweep it under the rug. And these people later on down the road would, you know, end up in prison or do something they regret, or, you know, self-delete themselves or become addicts of some sort. So, you know, and the problem with today is we don't take mental health serious like we should. We really don't, especially in schools. In schools, schools is very important, especially when you spend 8 hours a day in school. You know, the average, when you talk about self-deletion between kindergarten and 12th grade, the average is fifth graders are the most common school grade kids that have the highest self-deletion is fifth graders because of bullying and trauma and stuff like that, you know, because they don't know who to reach out to. Children don't know about therapy. They don't know about counseling. They don't know about psychology and psychiatrists and all this stuff. So they don't know who to go to and who to trust. You know,
what happened to guidance counselors?
Well, that's a wasted of time.
That's who helped me when I was in school.
Well, back in see, you know, I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that. You know, I became an alcoholic at the age of 15. I didn't stop until I was 30. Yeah, I was in.
How old are you now?
I'm 43, getting ready to be 44 in 13 days. So, you know, and it's even being sober that long, it's still a struggle. So I started doing the 12-step program and just reading you know, and going through it and doing step one was an eye opener for me, eye opener. So, and I'm working on step two. And the thing is that there's, like, for example, my mom's 77 years old. And when I talk to her about my mental health, she don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people at that age are set in their ways. They don't believe in mental health. A lot of people, not saying everybody.
That was the generation where you really didn't talk about your problems. And if somebody was going to a psychiatrist, it meant there was something wrong with them. And a lot of people just they were more religious too, and they just prayed or talked to their priest. They didn't think that they needed therapy or anything.
Yep. And I have nothing against, you know, I have nothing against people who go to church and have faith and belief. Nothing against that, you know. But when I think I grew up going to church, be honest with you, I grew up going to church, and still I was a very angry child, and people didn't notice it, and I didn't know how to cry out for help.
What were you angry about?
Well, I was SA'd as a child. I was physical, and you know, and it was. I tried to bury it because I didn't know who to go to, who to trust. You know, at that time, you know, because it was a male figure who did it, and it wasn't my father, because my dad wasn't around when I was growing up. So
was it a friend of you? Was it a friend
no,
of the family?
Well, not a friend of the family. No, just somebody I thought I trusted. You know, because I didn't have a father growing up, so I would look at older men for guidance. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens with a lot of youth. They look outside the household for guidance because if they don't have it inside, they're going to look for it elsewhere. You know,
so did you drink to kind of cover up the pain you feel? Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
you drank
yeah.
to kind of drown the pain? Okay.
Yes. I
but
drank.
But it never worked, right? It only made it worse, right?
Internet God, you're correct. You can find therapy in church. You can. It's just that I didn't know how to reach out for help. I didn't know how to cry out for help. And the thing is back then when you were always told to man up. You know what I'm saying?
Even
you were
about
always
something
told,
like that.
huh?
Even about something like that.
Yeah.
How old were you?
It happened between the ages of 6 and 8. So, but you know, for a long time, when up until I was 30, I never talked about it. Believe it or not, never talked about it.
You didn't talk about it because you were embarrassed, but you need to talk about it because people need to understand that these are real things that happen. These are things that happen to people every single day. And even you talking about it now, you talking about it now sheds so much light on people that can't talk about it. So I applaud you for that. I applaud you for that. So I'm just,
you know, I've had a lot of friends since I turned 18 that have up until recently self-delete themselves. You know, so, and they were all men. They were all men. I've never had a female friend self-delete themselves. All men. Okay, and that kills me.
Well, women are stronger mentally, I think. I think women have more of a resilience, you know, to trauma, But I think the bottom line is that you sharing your story is very admirable. I mean, you're sharing your story right now, and I hope it lets other
I
people
share
know.
every time I go live, I talk about mental health.
I mean, there's no 6-8-year-olds listening to this, but what I'm trying to say is that if somebody has gone through that, hopefully, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just saying, but hopefully,
what did you just say? Serious?
I said, what did I say? I can't remember. No, what I was gonna say is like, my friends that did what they did, I wish I could have been there for them. Like, I wish I would have known what they were thinking. Why? Like,
sure.
What were they going through? But a lot of men, like the Shade Tree intellectual said, men aren't taught to talk about mental health, let alone how to ask for help.
Do you think people that are abused become abusers? Like, I mean, not in every situation, but do you think that it kind of, it's almost like it trickles down with some people,
If you don't understand mental health, you would say yes. Okay. If you're on the outside looking in, but in my opinion, no. You know what I'm saying? Would you become a violent person? Okay. See, when I was a very violent person. Very violent. I loved to fight. Okay. Like if I got jumped by 15 dudes, I was outside the next day. Like, I had a rough growing up. Very rough childhood. Very rough. So as I got older, the more violent I became. I loved to fight because what I did is I took everything that was ever done to me and I would take it out on the person that I was violent with. And then I went to jail at 17, got out when I was 19. I moved to New York, got into boxing. I boxed for about 3.5 years. And then I had to move back home to help my mom. And then I got married, divorced, lost a child and had a child in the same period. I lived an interesting life. I became less violent, more of a heavy drinker. I was happier when I was drunk. That's the reason why I drank alcohol, is because when I was drunk, I wasn't violent. I was too drunk to be violent, to be honest. So, yeah, they're
so
my
basically,
life. I would not want to wish my life upon anybody else. I wouldn't. But alcohol was my Band-Aid. Was my Band-Aid. And what woke me up, and I'll tell you this, okay, is when I was in college, I had just finished my associate's degree. And this is the guy that dropped out of high school at 10th grade. I failed 10th grade. I dropped out of high school. Went to jail, got out, moved to New York, moved back, went to Florida. When I was 25, I got my GED without studying. When I was 28, I went to college. Was student president on campus. And I was still drinking. I was an alcoholic at this time still. I was on my bachelor's program. And this is where I broke. This is where I broke. I was taking a course called criminology. Now, I was a business major, right? And I was taking a course on criminology. And the reason why I did this, and I would take like, because I was student president and I wanted to get to know people from all different parts of the school I was going to, programs. Like I would take a medical assistance elective. I would take a psych elective. I would take a criminal justice elective to get to know those students and how the campus is treating them, how the professors are doing and stuff like that, because I represented the Student Government Association. I was student president. So when I was doing criminology, one of my friends, we're still friends to this day. We talk here and there. She did her project on victims of SA, right? So when she got to the very end of the project and she talked about the side effects that the act does to the human brain, the trauma that it causes, I broke. Pandora's box opened up and everything came out and I broke. For a period, my drinking intensified. I dropped out of college. Like when I said I had a mental breakdown, I dropped out of college. I quit my job. I drank heavier. And then one day I'm sitting in my vehicle on a Sunday. It was right before New Year's. And I was like, I'm either going to go to the hospital or I'm going to drive off this bridge. And I made a few phone calls and people were trying to talk me off of going to the hospital. So I'm like, you're trying to tell me not to go to the hospital. So you really want me to drive off this bridge? So I said, screw everybody. I need to do me. I went to the hospital. I told the hospital I didn't want to live anymore because I was at that point. And I got help. I sobered up. I went into mental hospital for 7 days. And I have loved therapy ever since. Because even when you're doing good, times can still be hard. Something can trigger you, even when you're doing good. So I go to therapy and I talk to my therapist about everything.
Jeff, I got to drop, dude. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Take care, guys.
Take care,
Mike. Take care, guys.
So, but yeah. What else would you like to know?
A lot. Hey, Moose, welcome. So that's what it took, inpatient.
Yeah, I went inpatient. Not once.
And how long ago was that?
That was 13 years ago, but I've been since because about 7 years ago, I had some friends and I was living with them and I had like nowhere to go and I was helping them out and I thought they were taking advantage of me. And they did. And because I was living underneath their roof, I didn't know how to speak my mind because I didn't want to get kicked out because I would have had nowhere to go. So I relapsed, right? And I knew mentally that I wasn't strong enough. So I ended up back in the hospital. So
it's good
yeah,
that's where you got help the first time.
Yep. So mental health, Mike, I'll tell you, mental health can be very dark. Okay. But it needs to be brought to light because there's a lot of people out here that are living in darkness and they need help, in my opinion.
I agree.
So,
what would you tell those people other than reach out?
you're not alone. You're not alone. There are other people struggling just like you. They are. There are many people out there that are going through what you're going through. Just may not be the same way, but they've had a similar life experience. So don't be afraid to ask for help.
And what do you do now? Like, what's your you do 12 steps, you have therapy. How do you keep yourself healthy?
Well, so I have a therapist. I'm getting back into therapy again. I talk to people. I'm working on putting together a men's group in my area.
Oh.
It's just taking time
Yeah.
because you got to connect with the right people.
Yeah, it does take
time. Have a men's group where you do things, go fishing, go to the park and have a cookout and just talk. So that's my goal, is to just help as many people as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to help everybody, but just help as many people as I can. So that's why I came to YouTube, because I know there's a lot of people out there that watch YouTube that are looking for an outlet.
When I started this, I was hoping to find more mental health channels. Do you know, like, are there other channels doing the kind of stuff that you're doing?
Well, I was there is a channel that talks about narcissist, but now that word is being used like water. Everybody today is a narcissist, so
Well, we all have some narcissism in us.
Yes, we all do,
we
but
have an ego. But
yes.
What I wonder if narcissism is like autism and trans and all the other stuff. It's people are just more aware of it now, so they have a language to describe a phenomena that they might not normally have known to call anything.
Yeah.
Did narcissism play a role in your trauma, either yourself or
no
people you were affected by?
No, because being in therapy and stuff like that. Well, Mike, you want to know? I'm not in pain. I'm just sharing the pain I have gone through. Okay, I'm not in pain. Okay, I'm just saying. Just because I'm sharing the experience doesn't mean I'm in pain. Because I have accepted everything I have went through.
What's terrible about it? This is what peers do, Mike. We share our story, and we share our story so that other people can benefit from it and know that they're not alone and hear what other people go through. There's nothing. I do this for a living. There's nothing weird happening up here. This is all fine. In fact, this is the channel where stuff like this can happen. He's not in crisis.
If I was in crisis, bro, I would be in a psych hospital. I've been there twice. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
He's just telling his story.
Dude,
I've
I'm
told my
40.
story. Plenty people come on this
Dude, I'm
channel and
40.
tell their
I'm
story.
gonna be 44, right? I'm gonna be 44, right? I'm 6'6", over 300 pounds. Okay, I could handle any troll on YouTube. Just saying, because I know what you're doing right now.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm just
I
saying.
just don't know why he's doing it. Other than there's an audience.
I'm a Viking.
Oh, we get a lot of those here.
Yeah. I'm 64% Norwegian. So I'm 64% Norwegian.
Well, I can say it's nice to meet you, and it's enlightening to hear your story because it's your story, and by listening to it, you know, I can do my own internal comparison. So thank you for sharing, and continue.
You know, so this is horrible content, right, Mike? Horrible content.
No, this is exactly the content that this channel was designed for. So if you think it's horrible, just go watch something else right now. But this is the content that I want on this channel. Welcome.
Hey, buddy,
look
what's
at that
up?
beard, African. Look at that beard, man. I shaved mine recently. I miss it. I got one of those horns. Oh, yes.
Wait, what? You have horns?
I have one of those horns, yeah.
What horn?
That he's got in his hand right now. It's called a skull. Yes.
Oh, you got horns too, real horns.
Yeah, you drink out of it.
Oh.
I drink water out of mine. That's thick. Just saying. I have braces.
I'm just washing it out, man, with like
There's no
pure
telling
water
what he's
before
drinking out of
I
his.
add some real drink.
Skull, 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 skull.
Why aren't you drinking it out of the horn?
I'm just saying. I mean, it's like
that would be. Looks like a minotaur horn.
Unicorn.
You know, man. You
What's
can
up
imagine,
with
man.
you?
I like the theater. I mean, I reckon I should get back on that theater, shouldn't I? I should get up there. Hey, you guys good?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're pretty good. I think so. How are you? How are you? Winding down your day?
You talking to me or are you talking to Plastic African?
Oh, I'm talking to African. Just checking in with him.
What did you say?
I just asked how you're doing. What's up?
Busting my balls.
That's a theme lately.
And that's what it's about, isn't it? Like, you gotta pay tax busting my balls, you know? All the time, man. It's like, fuck, man. Fucking that job done, that job done, do this.
Up on
Fucking
here
fix
the last
problems
few
here,
days.
get going there. You know what I mean?
Do you have any mental health stories?
We talking mental health stories here now?
Do you
I mean,
like
I gotta say, man,
do you
when you were
take care of
start
your mental
praying
health? Like see
for
anybody?
others, how you bail people out, the best. You
How
know,
do you bail
especially if
people
you
out?
know people are going down that route, you can approach them and go, "Hi," tap them on the shoulder. You okay? I mean, the problem lies there, doesn't it? Homogenous societies are the best societies, right?
I don't think. I don't know. I've never lived in one, unless you count up here, but I mostly ignore it. What do you think? What do you think about the idea? I guess it's not an idea; it's a reality of men not knowing how to open up or feeling like it's okay to open up about stuff.
Oh, what stuff?
Just like their shit, their dark shit that
Oh,
they
the
might be
dark.
holding in to appear tough to
Okay.
other males.
I mean, given that is when men become men, right? We come from something. Our mothers, our fathers, upbringing from our brothers and sisters or our siblings. Yeah, we go to schools. We're not feral, right? Yeah, yeah. Come on, man.
Debatable.
Ah,
Depending
man.
on the male.
What are you talking about? See, by scale, I think that's the problem. I mean, look at bees. Essentially, the way that the beehive works. In some places where the it's so hot that the honey goes a bit like drunk, and they eat it. The bees go, you can't get in to do summer up. True story.
I missed the lesson about the beehive. I was distracted by the comments. Are you saying we should be like bees?
No, yeah,
Or
of course
don't
we
be like
can't be
bees?
like
Because
bees.
aren't bees like they have this woman living in the middle of the hive and everybody does her bidding?
I mean, that's the hive mentality. Yeah. But it's also, I guess, collectively, it's the way that they operate.
Because if they didn't, their little colony would die out.
Yeah.
So they all have to
Yeah.
do their part.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. There's loads in South Africa. We used to do it. People wouldn't like this, but it's funny, and I find it funny. We actually used to take I know you guys don't like this, but like bullfrogs and other insects or other vertebrates together in like a chamber of death. You know what I mean? So we would hunt like spiders, scorpions, and other arachnids and vertebrates, and try put them to for the death.
You would?
Yeah. Back
That
in my
sounds
when I was a kid, man. Yeah, it's I grew up. Yeah, I grew up like
y'all would
you know.
initiate each other with insects?
Nah, man, it
No.
wasn't like that.
Oh.
You like rock up at school. Go, oh yeah, check my fucking scorpion. It's +10. No. It was funnier than that, dude. That was like little
We got
terrarium.
somebody in the back named Pepe.
Let's go.
Pepe, first you have to show your camera. And put your channel so I know who you are.
Fuck, who did we lose? Shit.
Well, can you do it for more than half a second? I need to at least see that you're... Okay. And then if you have a channel, drop it in the back. Because you're new here, so we got to vet the... Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I apologize. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, no problem. What's on your mind, Pepe? Just tell me in the back and I'll probably bring you on with an overlay. Because there's a lot of people that come here to troll and or porn bomb. So we're trying to weed those out. Just came to chat.
So tell them to comment in public chat. Tell them to comment in public chat instead of private chat. Because your mods can
just
tell.
type a comment in the public chat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I've been vetted before. Is I've gone to new channels and they look at my name and then they go to my channel and they're like, oh well, this isn't a 1-day account. You know what I mean?
Right. It shouldn't disconnect you from just typing in the chat. Okay. He's gonna try.
Because most people, when you put the link in chat, it's happened to me. They'll take the link. They won't comment in chat. They'll take the link, and then something disgusting will happen.
Yeah.
So I've been bombed.
That's funny. Something disgusting will happen.
Yeah.
Just that. I mean, I've got to get humor from everything, don't we?
That's another. I think humor is mentally healthy too.
Come on, bro. Mental health is everything, huh?
And Mr. Serious, there's something important. There's something important to me that when it comes down to receiving of the help, whether it be through enjoying yourself or being part of a group in and of itself is honesty. I'm not saying anything about you, but I'm saying that I have found almost no pushback anywhere I've ever gone on these YouTube streets because I tell the truth. I'm telling real stories. And whether they could be some of like the whole me wearing a skirt and being painted up by makeup and all that stuff. That stuff can't be fact checked. But but by being an what do they call it? An earnest person. I don't have to hide behind anything. I don't have to hide behind my avatar. I don't have to hide behind my screen name, even though I do protect myself in that way.
I'm gonna bring this Pepe
Okay.
on. Hey Pepe.
Hello, Jeff. Can you hear me?
What's up? Yeah, we can hear you. What's up?
Perfect. I didn't know if my earbuds would work properly. Oh, nothing much. I've seen your channel a few times. I mean, I'm not I would say well versed in your channel, but you seem to have some interesting topics from time to time, and I've been drinking a little Patron tonight, so I felt like I'd come out of viewer mode and have a conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. You're not gonna
Thank
pour
you.
bomb me.
No, not at all. I'm not here for any malicious intent.
That's exactly what a porn bomber would say.
Well, of course. I mean, but you'll see. Like actions speak louder than words, and over time, you'll see that my actions will align with my words.
All right. Well, I'm giving you a chance, so welcome.
Well, thank you. So how is everyone this evening?
I think we're more or less okay. We're talking about mental health. Do you have any mental health stories or?
Oh shit! I mean, mental health. I think we all have mental health stories. I mean, I would argue that 99% of the people that actually stream on a regular suffer from severe mental health issues.
That would be hard to argue against.
1000%. I mean,
but I
whether
also
it be,
think, believe it or not, I've seen it help other people's mental health.
Well, I look at social media like anything else. Like in my 40 years on this planet, and as of being an addict and whatnot, the one thing I've learned, if anything, is that balance is key no matter what it is. Like I mean, for instance, let's dumb it down to the most basic method: water, right? Virtually harmless, but if you drink too much water, you can actually drown yourself. So like.
Did you hear what he said? 40 years on this earth, and now he's telling us about water because he drinks too much.
Africa, give the guy a chance.
First of all, I was bringing it down to the bare minimum. Thank you very much.
Keep in the background, buddy.
What about me in the background?
There's a baby in the background.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I have my granddaughter is currently laying down, and her grandmother's here. I mean, am I not allowed to have children? Is that something that like?
No, you can have children. She's just in the background. We can hear her.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll do a minimum to try to keep it, but kids are kids. I can't necessarily zip her mouth shut the minute she speaks. But all in all, maybe she's trying to teach you something, by screaming.
Yeah, maybe that's so. Yeah,
I don't know. She's not bothering me.
That
She just makes it hard to
could be
hear.
a true noise. Beep.
To people that like can hear it on the other end, I could totally understand how it's annoying. But from my end, she's cute, and it's gorgeous.
Here we go.
I can say from my experience, people complain about crying babies all the time, but I would say that a screaming baby is proof of life, because when you have a quiet baby, you have a problem. So, God bless your children and your grandchildren, your godchildren, whoever they are.
That's a perfect insight on that. And ironically, she might sound like she's screaming, but in all reality, she's a year and a half old. So at this point, literally, they're just trying to practice their vocal cords and
She's just
get
making
enunciation.
baby noises.
Exactly. And she's running around doing her baby thing.
Yeah.
But you got the trifecta. You got the beeping smoke alarm, the barking dog, and the baby. So you got the trifecta.
Wait, I don't hear a dog or a smoke alarm.
No, there definitely was a dog that barked. I will give that.
They're here more than even I am.
And I'll give you guys that. I am the typical haven't changed my batteries in my alarm. So I will mute up every time I'm not speaking to hopefully minimize any annoyance.
You guys are good.
So look, I'm owning it though. I'm owning it. It's not like I'm trying to pass it off.
You got the panel noise. You got the panel noise trifecta going on. All three with the holy as Jeff would say from New Orleans.
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
Unholy Trinity.
And I brought it for all y'all's ears to just simply absorb.
So Moose, what do you want to troll? You should have been here yesterday. That was.
Is it Pepe? Is this your first time here? I've never seen you anywhere.
Yeah,
I've seen that
new.
avatar. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. This is my first time on this channel. I've watched a few of Jeff's panels before. Like maybe I would say I've watched maybe a total of an hour and a half of your content.
Oh.
So do you love? So you think it's an
every
awesome?
day. I never know what to expect.
Well, last night was the troll show, so I didn't partake.
But we didn't. I think we had more trolling today than we had the whole entirety of yesterday.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen any of the trolling shit. Usually, I see you engaging into some pretty interesting topics. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the feeling that Jeff, that you're kind of more of like you lean more on the liberal side of things.
Actually, I took the political test on the street a few weeks ago, and I'm 70% right, 30%. I'm an enlightened centrist.
Jesus and stuff, bro. He's like,
I lean right.
Man. He's like negating that idea. Yeah.
That's interesting because, like, from what I've heard you talk, with the little bit I've heard, to me, you always seem to give more of a leftist point of view to things.
Wow.
And I don't mean that in an assaulting way, because I know nowadays calling someone a leftist, depending on how you view it, can be considered an insult. But like,
I definitely don't think of
I feel the
myself
same
as a
way goes for the
leftist.
right too. You know, extreme right, extreme left. Again, it's all about balance.
That's called a dialectic. They always said that, like in the beginning of this idea where we've come from, feudalism to like sort of, communism into, our system of known democracy that we live in. Seriously, it is a vast and great that we are seeing. And right now, most of us don't understand that via the idea of how much there is. So, what is they called? Scale. The scale of this stuff, and you can't control people.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well,
So
Gen
but
Xers
you
know
can't,
about
can you
fish
really?
scale. You know about fish
No, but,
scale.
no, they want to downscale Caucasian men. Don't you think that's
Wait,
happening
who's
like in
they? Who's
Europe?
trying to downscale the white men?
I think they is
No.
just an easy placeholder for the powers that be, because none of us truly know who they really is
Oh,
at the
okay,
end of the
If there
day.
even is a
okay,
they.
I would say that it would be, I guess, Bilderberg group, Slaughter and May.
The Moloch
There'd be
grove.
Seuss Bank. They are
What do
big.
you think they're trying to do? Aren't they white men themselves?
No, but
Why are they trying to
overlay that
downscale?
Well, just because they're white men don't mean that they're not trying to enslave
yeah,
other white men. Because
yeah,
to me, it's not about race; it's about classism.
yeah.
So,
Well,
and that affects every color. So,
You
who
think they're
cares that?
trying to enslave poor people?
I
They
think
can just
poor
buy
people
all the
are
servants they
already
want
enslaved
right
to a
now.
certain degree. Like, I mean,
of course we are, but by value and by what we accept and capacity of one's mind and what we have to our ability, right? And that's the true nature of it. We collectively have to like pay our taxes, water, rights, and light, this
We got
stuff.
to keep society going,
Yeah, man,
civilization
of
going.
course. Yeah, and that collectively is a good thing. It shouldn't be seen
African,
as that.
African.
And yet,
Did you say waterize? I haven't heard that term in so long. You said
water
waterize,
rights.
basically
Yeah.
water down reality. No, I'm saying I haven't heard it in so long. So
Mm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, they're not stop. If you have the money to jet set, no one's going to stop you.
I mean, so
but there's the key: if you have the money, and that
Is
seems
this
to
just
be.
cope for poor people? Like, I don't think rich people are trying to keep you down. If you want to be rich, then go be rich.
No. The
People
average
do it all the
person,
time.
isn't. But you gotta think, just like many other things, there's a spectrum, right? So, like, I would say that, like, in this instance, like, the average businessman isn't trying to enslave you, but the people that, like, are at the very top, that, like, are the CEOs of these companies, like, let's get into, like, for instance, my wife, she used to work for a nonprofit. She was a case manager for a nonprofit company, and they fired her. Get this, because she did not bring in enough money. Explain how a nonprofit company can get off on firing an employee for not bringing in enough
Especially
money.
as a case manager. That's not even a case manager's role.
Well, but that's the thing of the smoke and mirrors of how, like, I feel a good portion of our society works. Like, I think a lot of things that we see and what we think, like, it's like we give credence because it's supposed to be people that know better than us. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of things are just eggshells, and it's just a matter of time before that whole thing comes and collapses.
But people have been saying this for like
Hey,
a
man,
hundred years, and it
but
hasn't
that
collapsed
time
yet.
is coming to
Well,
fruition, man.
it's not a matter of, it's not a, like, I can't give you a specific time of when, but we have had small glimpses. I mean, look at the 2008 financial crisis with the housing
Yeah, but
crashing. We've
we
had
also
samples of it.
rebounded from that.
But you don't think that it still won't have everlasting issues going forward? Like,
Probably
I
not
mean,
everlasting, but every crisis I've seen in my lifetime, we've weathered, and
You just cammed up.
And come back from.
Yeah, I did cam up.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
It's not. I'm not scared of showing my face. It
Why
wasn't
is that
that.
funny?
I just hit the wrong thing.
Oh.
You look greasy. You look like me. You look like a greasy Italian like me.
You know what's funny? I'm not Italian at all, but I am a little greasy. I needed to wash
Are you
my hair
Norwegian?
today.
Are you Viking?
If anything, I'm like quarter Irish and then the rest European.
Oh.
Like my grandmother's straight from England.
Because we get a lot of greasy Italians and Vikings.
Okay, English here. We got some English.
Jeff,
here.
come on,
English
blood.
I like it.
Actually, we
Then
don't really get a lot of greasy Italians. We get the one we get just makes it seem like there's a lot.
So, I think the one thing in life is that we always, now we as in a collectiveness, whatever you want to call it, a group, we a collective, we complain about it, but like, what is the answer? Like, we always complain about these things, but we never figure out the answer to these things. So are we meant to know the answer, or is it going to
What's the question? I think we have a pretty good civilization. We have an amazing society that we as humans have created, and I think the answer is to just keep it going, keep doing it.
No. This is where I always say the Western Foundation, right? What it means for where it's come from, and to where we have it right now, and to where this is being dismantled because of this existential idea of where it's come from. They're trying to like make it up. No, it's really, really pathetic, but like kind of like they're rebranding history and reality.
What? You can't rebrand history. Like they'd have to hide all the books. Like
so are you talking like some
there for people to know it?
It's about,
are you talking like some Mandela effect type stuff? Like I'm kind of.
No, I'm talking about like it is the sort of reality of people not having an idea of what's it, critical thinking anymore, challenging it all, and also thinking, but then all that money is going to waste now because of the machine learning, because this stuff is going to go.
Yeah, because people are no longer thinking; they're letting AI think for them.
Yeah, but I know.
Jeff, it's not troll day, so get rid of Mike's latent homosexuality. So I'm not homosexual. But thank you. I appreciate the offer. I appreciate it, but no, I'm not. So,
yeah, Mike, you got to. That was okay yesterday because it was troll day, but you got to change your name today or profile.
It's just funny. It's like for a grown person to put your picture on their profile. It's hilarious. But getting back to what you were saying, what is the we ask all these questions, but what are the answers? We are a bunch of dudes up here trying to figure out the secret to life, or like
I was trying to figure out mental health, like how to get men to open up about mental health and get quality mental health support.
It's got in order for men. I'm sorry to interrupt, but in order for men to like get better with the mental health, like the first thing is the stigmatization of men talking about mental health needs to go away.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, like, again, growing up, like, and there's been times on the internet too of even trying to, I've tried, because I'm a big believer in talking about your mental health as a man, because like a lot of the times, like we're taught to just, suck it up, keep pushing through, like, men don't cry, that kind of like bravado, and it's, and obviously it's having an adverse effect on the overall wellness of men. So I think getting rid of the stigma of men talking about mental health, because there's a lot of guys, especially like the more alpha they feel, to be like, yo, you're talking about your feelings, that's gay, and it's like it really isn't. Like, it's talk, like being one with yourself and being able to communicate, I think that's a great thing for both sexes, and it
but
also
how does one find that? It's
funny because
I think it's independent to the person's journey, because like, for instance, like for me,
from birth,
I can.
No, hang on. Do you know the anal phase? Call
Do I
it
know the what?
the
The
anal
anal
phase.
craze?
African, what did
The
you say?
anal
What did you
What?
say?
Now he's
the
trolling.
anal phase.
African's
I don't even
trolling.
know that one.
No, I'm not trolling at all. No, it's called the anal phase because it's from Naomi
Oh, the
Klein.
anal phase from
Yeah, I thought you said
Frost.
the anal craze. I'm like, what are we getting
Hey,
into
because
here?
when children,
Yeah, where
children
exactly are
become
we trying to
potty,
get men to
right?
open up?
Potty.
Oh,
You have
he's trying to
children
get him to
potty.
open up, Jeff. He's trying to get him to open up all the way.
It's actually
You can only show me your soul through your butthole.
Yeah, exactly. You close the butthole, open the butthole.
He's bringing up the Sigmund Freud's theory of
Yeah.
Fine. No, that's Klein.
So what
Klein
about the
is
anal phase, Africa? Is that related to why men don't
the
open
anal
up about
phase is
mental
what
health?
they say is when
Because
the
they're
development
clenched.
of the mind becomes aware of where we need to have a poopy, where it becomes like sort of collectively like what they say acceptable with society. Can't just like shit in your fucking seat, right? Remember kids that used to pee in their seats. Children poo in their seats.
I used to
At
wet the bed.
12 in England.
Wait, what in England? What's wrong with y'all? I don't know any
Well,
12-year-old that
to be
used to do
honest,
that.
from studies that I'm aware of, a lot of times, kids, especially as they're older, that are wetting the bed, it's usually a sign of sexual abuse.
Or trauma. Or
Yeah, or some kind of trauma of some sort. Yes.
Or not being raised, correct? As in, like, given, as in raised as children. You have to raise as child. You can't just, their minds are great.
Sorry, lost connection. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
I also have to wrap up in about 10 or 15 minutes.
So African was talking about the Sigmund Freud theory.
Yeah.
Oh, like
take
Freud
care, track. Good.
Freud.
Good see you.
But doesn't Freud think everything goes back to we all like miss our moms or some shit? Isn't that
Freud was a sick person.
A little more than just miss her.
No, that's.
Oh yeah. Freud thought we had relations with our mothers. Freud was a sick person. Freud was mentally ill, without a doubt.
Yeah, Freud needed a therapist of his own for sure.
Yeah, disgusting.
But he was also treating Karens.
But think of how interesting that is. That a lot of people that are like really smart and have moved even the mental health field forward, they themselves have been pretty crazy to some degree.
Well, we all, our mothers love us the best. We love our mothers as our basically our creator. But I mean, when you go into that sexuality, that's disgusting.
Right?
It's gross. That's gross. To me, that's gross.
Yeah. Pulling the incestual side of it is definitely no. It's not sexuality. It's the idea that every man wants his fucking mother in an incestual way. That's a little like you lost me there, Freud.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, me neither.
As we say, it's the Scraziale. Italians, we don't do that. You don't even think about that. My mother has a mustache, and you don't think about your mom like that. Your mom looks like your dad, But it's gross.
No, it's the Oedipus and Electra syndrome.
Yeah.
So it comes from the ancient Greek idea of and why a man and a woman and always the collective sexuality starts where that does start, right?
But none of that's the kind of real world stuff that men actually deal with, like what Sirius was talking about earlier. That's the kind of stuff that is affecting
scale
men.
Again, just scale that idea and scale it again, like to this atmosphere of what people like don't know about this story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for you guys that are on the panel right now,
at least then it shows you that they fight against their fathers or they fight for their mothers. One of the two. Well, the daughters hate their mothers, and the sons, to their mothers.
I think it's become well accepted within the mental health field now that a child needs both parents. It's not just a man needs his mother or a girl needs her father. Like both parents are just as equal in.
I think boys
any
definitely
child's life.
need healthy male role models.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they definitely both need that role models to teach them. Like, I mean, a man can't teach a woman how to be a woman better than a woman
exactly,
can.
and vice versa. Yes.
Jeff can.
So I
agree
there.
Jeff can teach a woman how to be a woman. Jeff can do it.
No, I can't. I'm a horrible.
I would like to see him in a hat. Jeff, go put your hat
I've worn
on.
hats before.
Put it on. Plastic. Put on the gnome hat. Put on the garter gnome hat. Put it on.
I don't have a gnome hat.
Honestly, Jeff reminds me of the guy from that Fallout Boy video.
Come on, don't do it.
Fallout Boy?
Yeah, if you look up Sugar, We're Going Down Swinging, you're like the main character with your antlers.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Did you know Jeff got really mad? Did you know that Jeff got really mad one night and his antlers started glowing? Did you know that?
I don't know why I believe you, but I do.
It's a video of this guy with antlers. Yeah, totally. Oh my god, I'm inspired. I want these.
No doubt.
I wish I looked like that. Wow.
You wrapping up, Jeff? You wrapping up, Jeff?
Yeah, I have to, unfortunately, because I have to get to sleep and finish up my
Look! I trolled African and putting the hat on. Look! He's got the hat on. I love it. There he is.
Is that a gnome hat or a Klansman hat? I can't tell the difference on my phone.
That's a garden gnome hat. If you see that hat on your lawn, run, because that man has been in the military. Run for your life.
Damn. Oh shit. Okay.
Do you run toward or away?
Are you going to run away?
Oh.
You're on toward and give as huge of a hug as you can and hope you don't get stabbed.
Africa.
African, do you have a kukri? You ever have a kukri?
Oh yeah, I can't show you stuff.
Yeah.
Or a didgeridoo? Is that what they're called?
No, a kukri is a Nepalese knife because he was British military. So a kukri is the Nepali troops. Yeah.
Their training,
and
man.
he probably has a cougar.
Gotcha.
Their training was crazy.
I've
never
large,
ever seen this in my life. I swear to God,
I've always been taught to run towards fire, not run away from fire.
Run towards fire?
It was crazy. Because they were like, I'm telling you, ninjas, bro. They knew their weight and they used to run across.
Did you know? Did you guys know that the Nepalese soldiers have to buy their own uniforms?
Yeah, they do, man.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
Did you know that Kim Jong-un has never taken a poop?
Oh yeah, he has no butthole. He doesn't poop or pee. He's
like
not
that's amazing.
What was his anal phase like then?
He didn't have one. He was
let me
at 3 years old. He was the first to graduate with a 4.0 GPA too.
If he has no butthole, then Jeff's not interested.
Well, it's kind of like South Park. You remember in South Park when they would shit out their mouth? That's what Kim Jong-un does. He just didn't tell his people.
What's that about? Oh my God. All right, well, I'm going to jump off because I've wrecked the panel enough. Thank you, everybody. Jeff, all things.
I'll be here tomorrow for a part 2. I feel like this conversation's just getting started, and it definitely deserves a sequel.
Crazy
wine
drinking garden gnome. I love you. I love you, man. So I'll definitely see you later, man. You guys have a good night. This is crazy. See you guys later.
Take care, Mike.
I'd like to thank you for having me up too, Jeff.
I'm glad you came up. I'm glad I took the chance.
Yeah, I'll try to jump in more. This mental health issue definitely intrigues me, and
check out All Things Serious. He has a mental health channel.
All Things Serious is
some good stuff earlier.
Is that the name of the channel?
I'm working on. Yeah, it's All Things Serious.
Okay.
Yep.
All Things Serious.
You're up here.
Hey, Pepe.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey,
you got a young kid.
Am I a young kid?
So
no, you got a young kid. Yeah, is that your child? Then? Yeah.
I'm having troubles understanding. Yeah, my granddaughter's in the background. She's running around doing her thing. At this age, they like to like. I looked this up actually the other day. If you ever see like a 16-month-old and they like to spin around in circles and make themselves dizzy, the reason why they're doing that is it helps them actually acknowledge like where spatial awareness is and stuff. It's pretty
We did it
intriguing.
because it was fun.
So that's what I thought at first, is that she just liked being dizzy, but she was doing it so much, and I'm like, I don't know, you know. So I looked it up because like a lot of people, you know, the minute they see that, they automatically go, "Oh, my kid's autistic," but it's
Oh
actually part
no,
of natural
everybody I know
development.
did it. Even the kids at
Exactly.
school on the playground were doing it just for fun. Like it was
Yeah.
just something fun to do. We would also hang upside down
Yep.
until the blood rushed to our head, and then we tilt back up and let it all flow down.
Yeah, and it has to do with like viewing life from different perceptions and stuff, and
She's
it's intriguing.
developing her creative mind.
100%. She's a character, that's for sure. But yeah, thanks for having me up. Next time I'm up, probably my little being here will be a little less loud.
You don't
But
sound that old, by the way, Pepe.
all right, so
all right, Jeff,
you guys,
take care.
you have a good night.
You too, Pepe. We'll talk to you later. Take care.
Later.
All right, African, you want to leave us with anything? You've given us a lot so far.
Fuck off. I'm sorry,
No, I
Jeff.
mean, that was in a good way.
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, I just jumped in because, you know, I saw you alive. I was like, yeah, damn it. Just get in there.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
We always enjoy having you.
Yeah. I enjoy all of this.
Yeah, Moose wants a good night song from you.
He's like,
I know you're good for a song.
I've got to give you a good night song. Jeez. I've got to tune myself. Shit.
Oh. So far, all I hear is
all right, Jeff, you take care. I'll talk to you later, Jeff.
All right, Sirius. Yeah, let's definitely continue this.
Amen.
All right,
sorry.
Later.
I'm glad you came up, and I'm glad you shared.
Yeah, not a problem.
I think it got something started.
I'll come here more often.
Okay, I hope you do.
Damn right.
All right, bye.
In the meantime, take care. Kane, take care.
Cheers, man.
Do we get our song?
No, I don't think so.
Frog with a courtin', he did right.
What would it be?
Frog with a courtin', he did right.
I don't know. Which one would it be?
Something by his side.
Oh.
That was just a prompt. Feel free to not sing anything. All right, we're not getting a song from Africa today.
Yes.
I guess we have to wait.
It's
too early in the night. All right. Well, that's it for me. I got to get my ass to bed, and I'll be out tomorrow. These are the kind of conversations I've been wanting to have, so I'm glad they're happening. Let's keep them going. You know me, I like the deep shit. Mental health, men and mental health, philosophy, reality, all that stuff. Closing time. Actually, let me try to find another panel to send you all to. I really hate having to wrap up like this on the weeknights, but I have to. If I'm not disciplined, it makes making it through the day that much harder. Restless out. You're not oppressed. You're just losing. Caucasian Sasquatch is out, but I don't think he has a panel. Shift is coming up. That's in an hour. I guess go check out Wrestler. Joe Cool's on there. And so is Blizzy. Yeah. That looks like a good one. There you go. If you're still wanting a panel, go say hi to Wrestler. And I'll be here tomorrow, so I hope to see you then. And keep coming up, keep opening up, keep. Dude, I'm serious. At least if you take one thing away from this episode, people are taught. We are in the age of social everything, and people are talking more. They're opening up more. It's not whatever you think might happen if you open up or share. In this day and age, it's probably not going to be as bad as it is in your head. So take a chance, reach out, come on this channel. There's other channels you can go on. If you need help, if you need support, come here. We have a Discord. There's probably resources in your area. I can help you find some if you need it. We can look together. But I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel isolated. That's one of the worst things you can do for mental health is to isolate. So take advantage of the community that's been built here. Community support is one of the key ingredients to mental health, building that support system, building that network, as many people as you can add to it. You can never have too many people in your support network. So if you have even those little things, I think it's going to make opening up and reaching out just that much easier. So keep that in mind, and we'll continue to talk tomorrow. I'll do another episode on mental health. Take care, everybody. I'm going to go get some sleep and take care of my own health, and I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.